Get a look at our TrackMan Tracer technology from NEC as that final pairing has made the turn. Lindbergh on the tee at 10.
Straight down breeze is this tee shot. Well, that looked like a little freer swing, Judy.
Well, she needs to play. She needs to play a great back nine to make this the best day of her professional career.
And by the way, it is going to be a great back nine. We got Beth Hutter, John Delvecchio, Jack Graham, and others in the truck, and they're going to be tested to keep up with whoever wins this one because it could come from a number of different players, including this one. Moria.
Well, that was a relatively straightforward pitch and run into the wind.
And some work to do there. Up to 13.
Jessica Corder now for birdie.
And her dad's words don't sugarcoat anything, Tom. He creates mental toughness in her, and this is a great example of that. Bounce back.
Yeah, really nice bounce back and sort of puts her back on track. She's now tied for the lead. And the amount of players at the top just keeps growing and growing. Let's go back to 10.
In B Park from off the green for a share.
A little bit of the primary or first cut of rough to deal with. Gonna have to pick that putter up a little on the backstroke. And that always makes it a little harder to be real consistent.
Jump up to the green at 14. A moment ago, Area Jutanagarn. This would get her a share.
Right there, she goes up over that ridge.
It's a good pace. Maybe 3 feet to save. Up 1 to 15.
Caroline Masson has this to join the players at the top of the leaderboard. And looking really good. Oh, agony. Hanging on the edge. And no Indio to pull that one in. That's a 4 for Masson. She remains 1 back. Let's go to the tee at 14.
Jessica Corda on the tee.
Had to back off it once as the wind freshened from the right, and this one is just hanging out left.
Sorry. So that trouble at 12, a bounce back birdie at 13, but trouble at 14. On the green at 10. This is a par putt now for Moria Jutanagarn.
And Judy, this isn't what you want to start off your back nine, having to grind over a 6-footer. That was a pretty easy chip shot that she just got under, and it hit high on the club face and came up this far short.
Yeah, and I think this is a little bit of a tough read. It moves that little bit to the right, and you just don't see it.
And that's her first bogey on the card.
So a drop shot that is costly, 1 back now. Of those at 13 under, there is the final destination, Poppy's Pond, for the winner later today. Back with the second at 10. Wind blowing a little bit for Lindbergh.
Just a bit, Terry. Pretty much straight down this 10th fairway. 106 to the hole. Slight downhill lie. This her 54-degree wedge.
Big tee shot, Jerry.
Yeah, she was aggressive. Really aggressive. Fellow competitor Amy Olsen laid back some 70 yards behind this. She's safely aboard, but big difference in strategy. This needs to release a bit up the hill. Oh,
Good
nice.
shot.
Pretty much what she did at the 8th. Just tap in range. And Pernilla trying to get it to 14 under par. Corda's second at 14.
So much bunker to carry, so little green to work with. Really tough.
Again. with the hole out. Can you believe it?
This is spectacular stuff. Her caddy is just about to expire.
Wow. For a birdie this time, but trouble to a birdie.
That is the best way to stop that shot out of the bunker.
Put it in the hole.
There is my expertise of the day.
The only way to stop it from right here.
Really tough to get this ball really close. Nipped it really well, and boom.
And when you do that, you start to believe as a player, maybe there's a little destiny working.
You do. You know, when Dottie Pepper shot the 19 under here, that's a record, she holed out, I think, 3 times that week. And you have something going for you other than just hitting really good shots.
Yeah. And half of it is belief. This was back at 9 earlier today. The par 5, her third. And that was after her sister Nellie did that from across the water at 6 for eagle. So she closed out the front 9 that way, and then just a moment ago, no putter needed. Again with the home run.
What a plus you take from hitting not the best shot, not a very long shot, and you walk away with birdie. What a lift.
The down to the back up again after that tee shot that you pulled and not pleased with at all. So now on the tee at 15, up by 1, Tom.
Well, we can see what lies ahead for Korda, that tight fairway, Karen, but she has got to be full of confidence right now.
Well, you almost need to try and calm some of that adrenaline down.
Flag today, back left, and that is just fine. We'll go to the 11th, check in with Jennifer Song, and she has a chance to get it to 14 under. Sort of flying a little bit below the radar.
It's kind of her personality, don't you think, Tom? She's pretty quiet. Just goes about her business, and going about her business really well this week.
Her 8th year on the LPGA Tour. She's 28 years of age. It's her 6th start here at the ANA Inspiration. Has never finished better than 35th here in Rancho Mirage. And that puts her into a tie for the lead. She won the 2009 US Women's Amateur. So was a phenomenal amateur player, but hasn't really transferred it to the pro ranks as Lindbergh makes that. It is all happening here. Now we've got 3 players tied for the lead at 14 under par. Lindbergh back to where she started the day. Pick a winner. I dare you. It's impossible right now. How about this from Jessica Korda? 2 shots have gone in from off the green. What more can we expect? On the tee at the 11th, Pernilla Lindbergh tied for the lead.
Tee back today, but it is down breeze. A little stretched. I think she's going to get there in 2, but that one's left edge.
The trouble here yesterday, missed it right. And it's going to be a 3-shotter anyway, so not the end of the world. Missed the fairway there. Let's go to the 15th, where Ariya Jutanugarn finds herself 2 shots back. May need to make this one to stay in touch. And it just slides by, so 5 under for the day, but beginning to run out of time. 3 holes left. Back in the fairway. Jutanugarn a moment to go, putting at the green. They've now cleared the green, so Korda ready to play.
And perfectly flat lie on the fairway. You cannot go left of this whole location. It's just a little bit right of it, but she is down grain and should be able to get a little bit of spin with this short club. To the left.
Quarter 6 under for the day with a double bogey and a bogey.
You don't say that very often.
Not in the final round of a major.
Guys, remember, it all leads up to this final hole, 18, where the tee is up. It's playing under 500 yards. So Lexi Thompson just about ready for her final hole here at the ANA, our NEC TrackMan Tracer technology, giving us a look at the ball flight.
You see 3 palm trees just left of the fairway bunkers. And that is pretty much the line over the palm trees.
Yeah. First cut.
Have to see how much difference that wind in their face makes.
Third for Imbi at the 11th.
2 big hits by NB to get just in front of the screen in 2. Not going to be pleased with that distance left for birdie.
Imbi Park is 2 behind, but she's got a lot of golf left to play. Look at this contact, Judy.
Ball sits pretty nicely in that little bit of rough. She just, nothing wrong with the contact at all. She just hit it a little firm.
And guys, a moment to remind you, Golf Channel presents Shot Makers, the ultimate test of precision, nerves, cutthroat competition from Top Golf Las Vegas. 9 co-ed teams compete, and the rules are simple. Hit the target or go home. The 2-night premiere begins Monday, April 9th at 9 o'clock Eastern. To the 12th, and Jennifer Song sharing the lead at 14 under, her second.
Can keep this shot underneath the hole. It's a lot easier putt, but that's not a bad putt from there either. That just has a little right to left break to it. In fact, it might be a really good spot.
She is looking for her first win on the LPGA Tour, back to 11.
Maria is alongside her sister Aria on 12 under, but has this one to edge ahead.
She actually hit a pretty good lob wedge in, but it spun back away from the hole a bit. So looking now at a little more than 20 feet. Has such beautiful rhythm to her putting stroke.
There's a prime example. Right on cue. And back to 13 under. Maria Jutanagan still searching for that first win. She's been a runner-up 3 times on the LPGA Tour. Twice last season and once this year. Now quarter for a birdie at 15.
What a few holes this would be, Tom, if this would go in.
Can't have everything.
No, such a great effort though.
She'll remain at 14 under, tied for the lead, 3 to play. Back to Imbi Park, who's 2 behind, but has this to get within 1.
Yeah, and funny enough, it's been a little mini dry spell for NB in terms of making putts. Last birdie came at the 7th. Missed a par putt at 8.
Another missed putt there.
And that happens sometimes. You go through periods where you just, things aren't falling.
Imbi Park knows what it's like to lift that trophy and jump into the water. On the side of the 18th, into Poppy's Pond. Who will make the leap today?
On the tee at the 16th, Jessica Korda.
And every one of these tee shots coming in from this point on, Terry, are a toughie. So important to hit the fairway. That was a nice flowing swing.
It's going to flirt with the left. It's okay.
All right, take you back to the green at 12. Jennifer Song, this for birdie. It's been putting very well.
Just a little right to left in this putt.
Yeah, quite a bit. That would have given her sole possession. 13.
Well, don't forget about Charlie Hull. Birdied 9, birdied 10. This for a birdie at 13. This will get her to 12 under and within 2 of the lead. And that is spot on from Charlie Hull, the winner of the CME Group Tour Championship in 2016. Season-ending event, one of the biggest titles on tour outside of the majors. Maybe a major championship is in her future, her very near future. How about Lindbergh, third shot at 11?
Fantastic layup from that left rough, just 88 yards, best possible angle she could leave herself, and this a pretty full lob wedge at 58 degrees. Needs to go.
Oh, mistake. I was just about to say it's looking like she's really settled into the round, and that just comes out of nowhere.
That's a really poor shot from where she was. I don't know if that was trying to get a little too greedy, but rarely see that.
Judy, we'll get an indication of what's possible at 18 today. Lexi's second and trying to reach.
I'm not sure the field can see what Lexi does and think that's possible, but
Oh, with ease. No problem.
that's a great treat for the people who waited 18.
What a shot. And listen. Yes, it's doable if you're Lexi Thompson. We'll see if anybody else can do it. 14 under leads it here at the ANA. A moment ago at 16, Area Jutanagarn. This would get her to 13 under, 1 back.
She might have found the exact spot that's a straight putt.
And she hit it straight. So she is not out of it. Every time you think the number of players at the top of the leaderboard is going to dwindle, somebody else refuses to go away. And here is that reception for Lexi. Six under overall. Eagle try coming up at the 18th, and a sentimental favorite certainly for a lot of fans here in the gallery this week, to 11.
And Lindbergh being tested from the bunker.
Off short-sided with a big clump of sand behind the ball. That was an awful lie for that bunker shot. I don't have the words to describe how good that was.
Fantastic from Lindbergh. Lost a bit of concentration with the third shot that bounces right back.
Corda's second at 16.
Has a really good angle to this right hole location. She was standing really narrow though, very easy swing.
Wow, Jude.
I hope it stayed on the green. There's a pretty good false front right there.
Boy, that's far from her best. That's way short and left.
Let's see if Lindbergh can save par.
And if she does, and then ultimately finds her way making that leap into Poppy's Pond, she'll look back at this hole right here, Tom. I didn't think she could get that within 20 feet.
They're turning a negative into a positive. Heading into the most important stretch of golf that she's ever played, without a doubt. 13th hole, Jennifer Song just missing the fairway, which is easy to do here.
You almost have to land it short and try to run it up from there. That sounded like cabbage.
And she is short-sided herself, still in the rough. Up to 18.
So the eagle putt for Lexi Thompson.
Every now and then she gets tentative and kind of jumps away from it before she's finished the stroke.
2014 champ and came so close last year, Judy, and it was a heartbreaking way to not win it.
Yeah, there have been a number of people over the years who have played to try to disprove what happened the previous year.
Korda's third.
And trying to run it all the way back there, and that just looked a little scoopy.
And you wonder what happened on the previous shot too, Judy. Those two together after what she's done this run in the last few holes. Going a long way from making par here at 16. Go over to the tee at 12. That's where it is in relation to where Korda is. And Lindbergh, after that save a few moments ago.
Light breeze out of the left on this dog leg left. Left side of the fairway is the ideal starting line. Little slope from there will bounce it back to the middle. But either way, you have to get it in the short grass. And she has no problem at all there.
Yeah, playing with Amy Olsen, who is, well, after a birdie at 2, made bogeys at 5, 7, and 11, and is currently 9 under, 5 off the lead in that final pairing. To 13.
Jennifer Song needs to find a bit of magic here.
Well, look at the blade. She's just got it laying flat, wide open. Pretty darn good. Probably as well as that could be played.
We'll go back over to the 16th.
So Korda, this is for par.
And Terry, to answer the question that you posed Judy, I really felt there was a lack of commitment with the second shot. I think she felt she had too much club and just eased into it. This would save it all though, and that's short as well.
It's like in a blink, the momentum went away.
It's been some roller coaster today.
Yeah.
As Tom said, the double, a bogey, eagle, another hole out from the bunker. Look at the card. But 1 back, 2 to play. As we drop back to 12 a moment ago, Moria Jutanagar. This is a par putt for Moria.
Yeah, drove it in the left rough, punched out to the front right bunker.
So that's coming off that birdie at 11.
Yeah, and another example of when you miss the fairway, how hard it is to make par.
And a bogey there would drop her 2 off the lead. Judy, we had a breeze earlier in the day, and it's still part of the mix, but it never really came about here this week.
And as a result, you've seen, you know, lower scores, a lot of low scores. It was very, very hot the first 2 days.
Yeah.
A little bit more pleasant over the weekend. But golf, of course, in such wonderful shape and players taking advantage. And like I say, there's only 2 things that really change scoring, and that's rough and wind. If there's a part of Jennifer Song's game that needs to be stronger, it's with this club right here. She's a pretty good ball striker.
Pretty good putter, too.
Nice. Great par.
So 14 under and sharing the lead with Pernilla Lindbergh, player who has yet to, well, 2 of them at the top right now who have yet to win. At 12, Jutanagar for bogey. All right. Limit that to 1 shot. So she is 2 back. But 2 of her last 3 making bogey. Meanwhile, tee at 17.
This was a moment ago. Ariya Jutanugarn. 2 years ago, she had a 2-shot lead standing on the 16th tee. In this championship, she 3-putted 16, failed to get up and down from the bunker at 17, hooked her drive in the water at 18, and lost with 3 straight bogeys. She's not doing that today. Let's go back to 12.
And Lindbergh second. Just trying to figure that out. We'll go to 17.
Yeah, the tee shot was a moment ago. Now the putt for Jutanugarn. And it is a birdie, and she's tied for the lead. How about this? She will head to Augusta National to caddy in the par 3 tournament on Wednesday for Keradak Afebarnrat.
That's great. 12 second now for Lindbergh.
Breeze settled down. Chose a 9-iron for this shot from 137.
No.
Left and short.
Last couple of holes just trying to keep it together, Judy. So a great save at the last, but put herself in that position once again. We saw Lexi Thompson finish up at 18 a few minutes ago. She's with Lisa.
Yeah, Terry, Lexi, I know how badly you wanted to make that eagle putt on 18, but I actually sat in the grandstand so I could get the experience. If I had $1 for every time those fans were saying, "Go, Lexi," when they knew that you were going for the green, I'd have a lot of money in my pocket. How special is it for you to be here and to know the amazing fan support you get?
Yeah, it truly is amazing. Just the fans every year. It's such great crowds. I had little girls out there supporting me, giving me high fives between every hole, every day. And yeah, I heard them when I was on my second shot up there, cheering me on like they did last year, and just made me more motivation to even go for that shot and pull it off.
And a winner here, watching you walk across that very sacred ground in women's golf and people reaching down to give you high fives, that has to be one of the most special moments that you can have as an LPGA player. What's it like for you?
It really is. It is very special. This tournament has so much history behind it, and just the whole atmosphere of this event, words can't even describe it. And just coming up the 18th, giving high fives to everybody in the grandstands and having a standing ovation, it's pretty unbelievable.
You said last year how proud you were of yourself, how much you fought back. I know you continue to learn about yourself. As you look at where you are right now, where do you assess not only the state of your game, but just all the opportunities moving forward and where you are right now?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about myself. Every time I tee it up or every day that goes by, I always learn something new about myself and what I need to work on and what I'm doing well to be proud of myself with. And yeah, last year was definitely a learning curve. I just learned overall how strong I was, and you can get through anything with a positive attitude. And there's been a lot thrown at me, but I'm really looking forward to this year and just teeing it up in every event and seeing the fans like I did out here.
Not just strong mentally, but strong physically, watching these 348-yard drives. Very impressive. Congratulations, Lexi.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Lisa, thank you. Number 2 in the world, Lexi Thompson. So, Ariya Jutanugarn coming off the birdie, sharing the lead, 14. Tom mentioned the collapse a few years ago when Lydia Ko won in 2016. Here's her tee shot.
And her tee shot is with her 3-wood. She is not sporting the driver still again in 2018, and she has just striped it.
Doesn't really need it, seemingly. So maybe a chance to go after it. Back at 12 from the bunker now, Lindbergh in her 3rd.
Much easier bunker shot than she had at the previous hole, Terry. This one a slight uphill line, not nearly as short-sighted. Still not a bargain, but it's very doable.
Yep.
I see a lot of fight in Pernilla. She has not been whipped by the mistakes she's made today, and she's going to take this right to the end.
Sharing the lead as well, Jennifer Song on the tee at 14.
153 yards to the back left. Oh, beautiful shot. Pay no mind to the fact that it's not on the putting surface. Beautiful shot.
Been making a lot, too. Nearly everything. So that would give her a one-shot lead at the moment. You still can't. Well, maybe you can pick a winner. I certainly can't right now.
I would be unable to, nor do I want to. I'm kind of loving the fireworks.
I know. Jutanagarn in the fairway at 18, so maybe an edge there, but a lot of golf yet for those final pairings here.
Yeah, I think the last holes are pretty tough here, and so if you get something spectacular, post it.
You'd rather not
You're
have to.
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you'd rather watch. See if somebody could top it.
For the 17th, quarter a little long with the tee shot here.
But she was within a yard of being really perfect, Tom. If her tee shot had pitched just a yard short, she would have been right by the hole. As it was, it just hopped forward to this point. This one will test all aspects of her putting skills.
Yeah, super quick now. Pretty good.
That putt can pick up a little speed there at the last 10 feet. And I thought for a moment she might have made it.
And I would think she's pretty surprised to it even stop short.
One back heading to the 72nd hole. How costly could that bogey at 16 be come the end of the day?
Meanwhile, this a par putt for Lindbergh.
Really grinded on the reed, moving a little right.
So you take the positive or the negative. You put yourself in a tough position the last two holes, but you got up and down. Take the positive.
Maria Jutanagarn, second at 13.
In some of the thickest rough on the golf course, trying to gouge it out with a 7-iron.
She's done really well there.
Great play.
Bit of imagination from Maria, and she's got a chance for birdie to get to 13 under, but it's her sister who's making the biggest move of the day. She has the power to get home on that 18th and 2. Back at the 13th, where Inbee Park has this for birdie.
Little mini double breaker to get to 13 under.
Inbee Park, the winner a couple of weeks ago at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. Maybe finding the putting stroke right when she needs it.
14 just off the green. Jennifer Song for birdie. And the outright. Oh.
Wow.
Just at the end. Still shares at 14 under. Wouldn't shock you if she won it, even though she hadn't won yet. The way she's playing, at least. 13.
Maria Jutanagarn for birdie.
She's been on a birdie, bogey trend since the 9th. Ugh, that hurts.
Yeah, wasn't able to keep it going, and that is not in for a par. Now back to the tee with Pernilla Lindbergh.
Down breeze at this point in the round. Every tee shot grows in importance. Not much chance to get it close from the rough on this hole ever, and this one doesn't have to worry about it.
Jerry, is there an indication that these players have any clue where they are?
I'm pretty sure they have a very good idea, but not exactly, because things are so fluid out here.
It's changed so often this afternoon. Up at 18, been a tough day for Albon Valenzuela, but what a 4-day experience for her and her brother, Alexis, who's been on the bag and hopefully been with us when we've told their story the last couple of days. Quite a story, Jude.
Yeah, it's a wonderful brother-sister story. They are from Switzerland, and we were racking our brain last night, but a friend helped me, and the best we came up with, only one player on the LPGA Tour ever from Switzerland, and her name was Carol Charbonnet.
Sophomore at Stanford. She was born in New York City. Her brother, good player. He'll be playing in a couple of weeks in an AJGA event. So the amateur leaderboard. 4 of them making it. There were 7 to start, and 4 of them playing extremely well, making it to the weekend. Jutanugarn waited for the green to clear. Here she is, second at 18, the par 5. Oh, by that much.
We didn't get the chance to say it, but I was going to say, even though you're way out there, this is still a risk-reward shot. And she got involved in the risk, but she got rewarded. Whoa.
Inches. Just enough. And remember where she is. She's sharing the lead. I mean, there was not even a second thought about whether to go for it seems, but barely making it. What'd you say about posting a number? Back at 14 a moment ago.
Stepping right up over the shot with an 8-iron, wind hurting from the right.
Yeah, coming off that made putt on the last. On the tee at 18, Jessica Korda, one back.
Sorry, Terry, did have a little bit of weight. Waiting for the group in front to play. This one starting left, fading back to the fairway.
Well, I think it's a beautiful line.
Well, and that should give her a great chance to go for it, Judy, from there.
I'm trying to remember, that's ahead of where Jutanugarn.
Yeah.
A little bit. All right. At 2019 Kia Sorrento on the line for an ace. Moria Jutanugarn, though, thinking about other things right now.
Yeah, gonna see how close she can get this 8-iron. Wow, everything's firming up so much. That was a pretty shot. Just releasing, though.
Two under on the day, and 2 off the lead. Bring her up to 18 now, and that walk around the pond. Area Jutanugarn, but also IK Kim, who I don't know how much he wants to remember this walk.
Well, both of these players had really hard losses here. IK erased a lot of her hurt last summer when she won the Women's British Open. And she was under fire all the way in the last round and did it in style.
And it's 2012 when she had that putt, which was definitely under 2 feet. And a shocking miss, lost in the playoff. Sun Young Yu won it that year. Back to 13.
Vanilla's second.
113 to the hole, 50-degree wedge. Not much room between the front of the green and this hole. You got to be precise, even though it is just a gap wedge, to get it close.
Would have been better off without the spin. Did not run back into the rough. So that's the good news. Players making the ANA Inspiration their first win. Helen Alfredson back in '93, Nancy Bowen a couple of years later, Morgan Pressel when she won, becoming the youngest winner of a major at the time, and then Stacey Lewis finally breaking through in 2011. And the Swedes have a habit of making majors their first wins. Annika Sorenstam did it, Liselott Neumann, Helen Alfredson, of course, Jennifer Song, 15th, second.
I'm going to call it 7-iron or 8-iron. Sits down a little too quickly.
Guys, a reminder, why golf later when you can golf now? Take advantage of this special offer and book around between now and April 8th and get $20 off a future tee time. Use code GOPLAY20. Go to golfnow.com/promo. All right. So Jutanugarn area having just reached into this par 5 finishing hole from the edge now, taking a look at an eagle putt that would vault her to 16 under.
It would seem next to impossible to see this go in the hole. It seems difficult to two-putt it.
Yes, it does. You saw that come from behind graphic. Also, the best final round by the winner, 64. Nancy Lopez, Sally Little. The Area Jutanagarn 7 under on the day.
She's in that world of Jennifer Song where they are players who say very little. They just, on days like today, get the job done.
Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, that is still rolling, Judy.
Just a few years ago, Area Jutanagarn only had to play the last 3 holes in a decent fashion to win this championship, and she did not do it. She really, Tom called it earlier a collapse, and that's exactly what it was.
Lindbergh able to use the putter here at 13.
Yeah, I didn't see too many other choices.
He's left herself a little tester there for par.
Wrong side of the hole, too.
It'd be Park at 14 for birdie and a share.
Moria made par. This for back-to-back.
Yes, never a doubt. So she joins those at the top, 14 under.
Jennifer Song has a putt for birdie here at 15, and you get the impression that putt on 18 for Area Jutanagarn is absolutely vital. This one to get to 15 under par, take the outright lead.
It's one of the slower putts.
She needed that advice, Judy. So that's a par. Remains tied for the moment.
The birdie try for Jutanagarn. This is not a hole that she's going to have good memories of.
Lindbergh now with this one for par, tied for the lead.
Gotta be a little bit of anxiety in your heart over a putt like this, Tom. Not a long putt. Her and Daniel seem to be on the same page with the read that should go a little left. But you gotta be so very delicate with it. I guess you could jam it in the back of the hole. That would be gutsy. Nice.
Go back up to the 18th.
And it was a very difficult 2-putt from where she was. So she makes the par putt, finishes up at 14 under, and now she will watch those come down the stretch. Is it enough?
She still got a great break on her second shot. The ball could have gone anywhere.
Including in that water, and it just inches from going in. So a 65, and she might not have to wait long because Jessica Korda was back there waiting to go after the green in 2.
And I don't know about how Jessica's feeling, but my stomach is doing butterflies for her. Playing into the wind. This one, middle of the green, fading to the right. If it's enough, it should be great.
Oh, just a little bit, and it would have come back.
6 inches too far, or it would probably be within 6 feet of the hole.
Absolutely.
What do I say? I say, copy this.
I can't. Lisa Cornwell standing by with Albon Valenzuela right now.
Yeah, Terry, I know not the finish that you wanted on this final day, but still the experience. What was this week like for you?
It was an amazing week. Obviously today wasn't great, but it's wonderful to be here in a major. I had a lot of fun with my brother caddying for me and just a lot of positives to take. And yeah, just a bad run of golf today, but it happens to everyone.
Who enjoyed it more, you or your brother?
I think both equally.
As you get out here and you watch some of these ladies who I'm sure you watch week in and week out on TV, you play at a very high level in college at Stanford. What do you take away from them? What do you learn the most that you try to make yourself better?
I mean, it's a lot of patience, a lot of perseverance, and just consistency. So, I still have to work a lot on my short game and try to get up and downs a little bit more. But, it's not that far off. I know I can still compete with them, and it's just about learning and just taking the experience.
It's amazing. You say that you learn from them. We are all learning from you. Well done.
Yeah, it was great to watch this week. And we'll see her out there fairly soon, I would imagine. All right, back to the tee at 14 in Lindbergh.
Going with an 8-iron today. Light breeze now from the right. A little bit of hurt in it.
There's a tendency to try to get so close to that hole location that everybody's going just a touch left. The putt from 10 feet to the right of the hole is a simple putt.
That is left. Missing the green.
Did hop in the bunker, I believe.
Yeah, it did. It'd be in the flat part of the bunker, not an easy bunker shot at all.
Yeah, longer bunker shot. Quarter the walk up, just off the green at 18. Just off the green, this is an eagle putt.
And refreshing to see she really didn't waste any time over it. So fast down this hill.
Needs to settle as well. Okay. So Jessica Korda, one off the lead. Let's make that to tie. Back to 15.
Second for Imby Park.
With a 9-iron, she's missed some shots left of the flagstick. There's only 3 paces left of this one.
No, it's close to that collar of rough, so we'll see how she handles that. Back over to 14.
From that bunker, here is Lindbergh.
Bad angle on this bunker shot. Decent lie, but not great. She has to carry it a good 80% of the way there. Not a lot of green with which to work on that line, so she really needs to spin it.
Pretty good, really. In that front bunker, really good. Should get a read maybe from Amy Olsen.
A very good one.
Okay, birdie try coming up for Jessica Korda to tie. There it is. Two in the clubhouse at 14 under.
And 3 on the golf course that now know what mark has been set.
We are a long way from over, Judy. 65 from Jutanagarn, 66 from Korda. That is some playing on this final day. And now the wait begins for her as well. Back to 15.
All right, Jutanagarn for a birdie.
And she's going to have to get it to another gear. Putting uphill.
We know she has to hit it harder than she thinks. Right in the middle. That was just a moment ago. That moves Moria to 13 under, 1 back. She had a 3-stroke lead heading into the final round of the Evian Championship last year. Bogeyed 18 to fall out of that playoff with Norquist and Altomare.
This is interesting right here, Tom.
It sure is. Judy, she was putter all the way, but she just did not feel comfortable with the amount that she had to lift the putter up to avoid that primary rough. Oh, goodness. And look at that. That's an unusual mistake for MB.
Almost seemed as though this was a situation where if you've practiced it at all, you might do the little belly shot where the leading edge hits the center of the ball if you're going to use that wedge.
Yeah, and that's one of the great putters in the game right there who chose to go away from the putter. Back at 14, this for par.
She was able to get the perfect read from Amy Olsen's successful birdie effort, just about 1.5 feet longer than this on the same line. It turned ever so slightly left.
What a up and down.
Big time putt, Judy.
Whoa.
And she's made a few on this back 9.
MB Park for a par.
Wasting no time getting over this putt.
Expect anything different with MB?
She makes those look so easy.
That's why you're so relaxed when you're around the greens, because you know you have that as your final weapon.
But how about what we're seeing the last 10 minutes or so?
I
Every
know.
putt going. I mean, big time putt after big time putt. You got 5 players sharing the lead, 2 of them done. Song is in the deep rough here at 16.
I think we're believed with our viewers at home now because you can't see her shoes.
Not a good sign.
That's a wonderful shot. Good shot. Players practice those kind of shots a lot. You don't often practice that shot where the ball is just 1/4 of an inch in front of the cut of the rough that NB just had.
Right.
You don't practice that a lot.
Recent history here at the ANA Inspiration. It is in B as part of that group. The winner's circle, Lexi Thompson in 2014. Lincecum has won it twice. Lydia Ko, the former world #1, and So-Yeon Yu, co-player of the year in 2017 on the LPGA Tour. Moria Jutanagarn coming off that putt, 1 off the lead here at 16.
Certainly, Terry, with that big putt, that big 25-footer going dead center, she's put herself back in this conversation. Biggest challenge for her has been she has not hit a fairway on this back 9. Well, she rectified that issue mighty quickly.
Yeah, that's striped right down the middle, and it's a really good fairway to hit because the right side you're treed and the other it's rough.
Lindbergh on the tee at 15.
One of her better drives of the day, a little baby draw left side of the fairway.
The hardest 2 holes on the golf course, 15 and 16.
In B Park.
And she's pretty much been down the middle this whole back 9.
She was hanging in there staring at it. No, that's fine. Just wanted to admire the tee shot, I guess. We travel from those tee shots up to the green. Jennifer Song with a putt to save par, which would be a heck of an up and down from the deep rough. Just thinking about the emotional up and down of this final day. Lindbergh, such a struggle early. Amy Olsen was playing well, and then it has reversed. It's a long day, isn't it?
It is a long day. This is just a left center putt. Beautiful.
And she has made a number of really impressive putts coming down the stretch.
She has played tough. Best finish of the year, 31st.
Man. Back at 16, the second coming up for NB Park.
She did not hit that drive well enough to get down to the lower shelf. Consequently, has 185 in.
Well, that's a big shot at 16.
Yeah, into the wind. That's for hybrid, Judy. Tugged it.
And that's why she was staring at that tee shot, too. It wasn't as good as it looked from up above. 17.
Tied for the lead, Jennifer Song.
And the tee shot is fairly sheltered, but there is a little bit of breeze up there. This is a 7-iron, and it should be a perfect club.
That might work back towards the hole.
It will do. It will do. It's got to come down the slope.
Catch that bowl.
And Jennifer Song will have that to get to 15 under and be the first player to reach 15 under this week. Second at the 15th for Pernilla Lindberg.
Uphill lie, 144 of the hole, 8-iron. Hasn't hit a really good iron shot, no full iron shot since the 8th hole. That one was better.
Below the hole. We know what that putt does, having watched a few players already today.
Second from the fairway at 16 for Moria Jutanagarn.
30 yards closer than Park. Able to come into this hole with a 7-iron. And a good-looking one.
Yeah, it just sat down really quickly. It was right on line.
Sister Aria already in the clubhouse at 14 under. She's trying to match that or surpass it. On the tee at 18, Charlie Hall is not out of this yet.
That's big.
Yes, it is. And she will be able, you would imagine, to reach in too. So an eagle for Charlie Hall would get her to 14 under.
I think she's got a little bit longer shot, but she's not one to back off.
So would you rather be them waiting, Jessica Korda, Aria Jutanagarn, or playing right now?
That's the question of the day. We can answer that in just a little bit.
No, you don't get to wait. You've got to answer it now. All right, I'll give you a pass. All right, we just saw Jessica Korda. Let's see who's up to the challenge presented by Prudential. What a day it was. Roller coaster, because she had a few bogeys. Well, bogeyed and double bogey, but also some very good shots in here, very close.
Yeah, short iron. This is at the par 4 7th.
Leading to a birdie. Started the day at 8 under. Remember, the lead was at 14 under. This her third at the par 5 9th. Yeah.
I'm just one of the people cheering.
I know. As was she after that. Back at it at 13. One of those that could get away from you. Perfectly read. Fist pump there.
Backing up a double bogey.
Remember the fist pump. Remember that. Emphatic one at 14. Backing that one up. And another high five. Up to the challenge presented by Prudential. So Korda in the clubhouse at 14. Aria Jutanagarn at 14. Out to 16. That's where NB Park is, her third.
She has fortunately drawn a good lie. This should not be a problem getting up and down. And that came out softly.
Yeah, she kind of chopped at it a little bit. No through swing, Kay.
You know, the one player, to kind of answer the question I posed to you a minute ago, the one player you'd say, well, I'd rather be her on the golf course right now, be NB Park with her history, with her, you know, the 7 major championships, but she has made it tough on herself the last couple of holes.
Well, how about Jennifer Song sitting there about 6 or 7 feet from the hole at 17?
Definitely, right, in the position she's in right now.
Well, guys, this putt of Moria's, yeah, that 7-iron was beautiful. I thought it would be a lot closer than it is. It's a good 35-footer, But Judy, she's putted these longer putts almost better than the shorter ones, so maybe this is a distance that she's comfortable with and can lower expectations and relax a little bit.
That's pretty close to what she made at 15, isn't it, Kay?
It is, and she doesn't have a ridge to deal with. It's just an overall, maybe just a little movement left to right. A tad uphill so she can go ahead and be aggressive with this. Nope. She pulled it a little and it never drifted right.
All right, that's a stay one back.
Lindbergh for a birdie at 15.
Didn't hit it.
Well, she said that when she gets nervous, she gets tentative and leaves putts short. And we know from what Judy said, that putt is a little slower than you think. And this is not the time to leave yourself a putt of that length, Jerry.
No, well, she really hasn't had a birdie effort in quite a while right now.
Jennifer Song. Career best finish on the LPGA Tour, 3rd. She won twice in 2010, Karen, on the Symetra Tour, and she was 2nd on their money list.
And she's a very elegant golfer, lovely looking golf swing, very consistent normally, plays great golf, and really a surprise to see her not break through.
Well, she might break through today. She has this to take a one-shot lead.
This putt, Tom, isn't overly easy. It feels like it wants to break quite heavily left, but I do believe that this is one of those putts that you can leave high. It just looks like it wants to turn more than it actually does, and the hole itself looks to be tilted the opposite direction of where the break looks, so not an easy one to be facing.
Well, my educated guess is that she cannot go at 18 and 2, so it makes this putt all that more important.
How many opportunities will she get? Pernilla Lindbergh, you could say the same about Pernilla. This for a par.
Has to go to that well one more time.
One more time. She finds water in the well. So that is a par and 14 under. Tied for the lead. 3 to play. 16th is the hardest hole on the course according to the scores today.
Inbee Park at 16, trying to stay at 14 under.
She has a bit of an early walk that tells you she's kind of unhappy with what she did.
Knows it immediately, so drops a shot. She is one back with 2 to play. Meanwhile, up to 18 and the 2nd for Charlie Hull, who is 2 back. An eagle would get her to that 14 under crew. Been going back and forth on this.
Coming down, sort of. Yeah, it says INA on the airplane.
She had a good tee shot, but I don't think she got it down there quite as far as a couple of others.
Yes, it does. Will it stay? Yeah, just off, but an opportunity for Hull, who is 2 off the lead.
I guess if you're playing some team golf and you want somebody on your team who is not ever going to back off.
No, never afraid.
You want Charlie Hull.
I just realized. You're good. I'm so sorry. You're fine.
Pernilla Lindbergh.
Oh, what they were laughing about. She got up ready to hit, and she realized she didn't have the honor, which she's had most of the day. And Avey said, no, you're all right. Go ahead and hit it. I tell you what, Terry and Judy, this young lady, after the adrenaline wears off from this final round and her performance this week, win, lose, or draw, she is going to be mentally exhausted. She has grinded and grinded and grinded just to get every single ounce out of today's round. Turning toward the left center of the fairway should be good. Yeah.
It is good.
Got to gain some respect for her today.
I love the fight that she shows.
Jennifer Song off the tee at 18.
And I believe Judy to be right. This is a very high driver, and into this wind, it'll be a 3-shot hole for Jennifer.
And not an easy layup. Let that lie.
And 3 shots doesn't mean you can't, a 3-shot hole doesn't mean you can't get this done. But now she's got a tough layup out of the rough, and she's got to hit some kind of really good short iron or wedge shot.
Inbee Park on the tee at the 17th.
And she just watched Moria hit a pretty good 6-iron that released onto the back of the green, back right. It might even be on the fringe. Inbee going with 7-iron. The wind somewhat protected on this tee box, but it's hurting from the left.
Right over the hole. Has it gone too far?
Or is it going to come back?
It's not going to come back.
That's a bit unlucky right there. That was a sweet shot.
And that's got to be centimeters away from running back down the hill towards the hole. So Inbee Park needs a birdie if she is going to get into a tie, a potential playoff. Jessica and Nelly waiting. And Area is playing the nanny. Vanilla Lindbergh still has a chance, tied for the lead.
One of 4 players sharing the lead at 14 under. Pernilla Lindbergh at 16.
Didn't get it far enough down here to have a clear shot at the back right hole location, although I don't think that's the goal from here. 189. Breeze in and from the right. The side hill, uphill lie. She's got a 4-iron and she needs to smash this to get it hole high.
Globalist, and you don't see a whole lot of players that way anymore.
I just felt the gust coming. I mean, it's still like this club, I just sorry? No, it's okay. So it would be nice if this just went down. You know?
To give herself a rare, makeable birdie opportunity on this hole today with this whole location, she'd have to hit a power fade with a lot of power. The wind's working the other way. Caught every bit of it, but it's turning away from the hole, left center of the green.
Not bad. Pretty long shot in there.
Just a moment ago at the 17th, Mario Jutanagan for birdie.
A 30-footer that she's going to play barely 10 feet just to get it over the crest.
She's 1 behind. Maybe not anymore. Just missing.
Been 1 eagle at 18 today. Jennifer Song laid up well in the fairway, but this is Hall for eagle and a share. Oh, gave it a chance. Did not leave it short. She was a believer about halfway to the hole.
Inbee Park for a birdie is to tie the lead. Can the putting magician provide one more trick with the wand? Yes, she can.
Come on, Tom, this is too good.
It is incredible.
Wow. And Charlie Hull. This for birdie, going to come up short. Made a run, gave herself the opportunity. Just slid by the hole. 4 rounds in the 60s, though. And a player who is a lot of fun to watch.
I can do a half.
That little guy would keep you in a pretty relaxed mood now. Look at him.
Keep things in perspective, too. Sung-Hyun Park, along with Charlie Hull. And Park, who was right in the thick of things yesterday, but struggled. The major champ, so the sisters wait. Jessica Korda not yet on a solid diet.
She's pretty much still on a liquid diet. It's amazing that she's, kept herself in the shape she's kept herself, because she hasn't had really solid food for 4 months.
If you weren't watching earlier, jaw surgery, and it was a major surgery, and had headaches and feeling much better now since the surgery, but been a long road back.
You're only looking at 203 full carry. Yeah.
Just at the crane?
Just at the crane, mate. Yeah. No, well that's it. I mean, it's a 3-shot hole anyway, so. On that line, if you like that way. Into little left to right, mate.
Interesting. And this has to be the play for her, Judy, because the wind right now is really picking up. NB doesn't, hit it the way that Jessica Korda does or Lexi Thompson does. So she's going to rely on her wedge game in the end to try to hit it close. Still have to find the fairway or it's a tough layup. And this pushed out to the right.
Well, they're playing it as a 3-shot hole, and I can see a bit of the ball, Kay, but I think even without the wind in her face, this is not a go-for-it green for NB.
Yeah, you remember Jennifer Song was about in that area, but you could not see the golf ball, so it was a good layup to get to here.
It was. She punched a hybrid, rolled all the way along the ground.
It's blowing as hard as it's blown all day. How much do you like that 12? Like pitching waves that we get? That one flew 107. That's okay. We're going max 52. We're only going to get 100 out of that, 103. That's going to spin a little bit, correct? You like this? I love it. Flight it in there, see the shape of it.
And it has taken her a long time to pull the trigger on this shot. I mean, obviously, everything that's at stake here, really, she's going through the process of every single little thing that you can go through. Caddy, wise words, giving her the confidence that this is the right club. And he's right, the wind is as strong as it's been all day.
Will it? How much will it? Gaining. Just to tease you a little bit, Judy Rankin. To the back edge and bringing it back.
I'm a little afraid to breathe. I don't know what's going to happen next.
And remember, a birdie would put her on top at 15 under. Back to 16. Lindbergh, lengthy birdie putt.
Yes, long range, trying to steal a page out of MB's playbook and make one at this point in the tournament. Not a lot of contour to deal with. A little downhill, turning slightly right early. See if she can dial in the speed. And once again, another tester.
Well, she just keeps making herself work hard today.
Jerry, you said she'll be exhausted after this. I'm exhausted watching it.
I tell you what, Judy mentioned afraid to breathe. The air is getting very thin out here right now. I could imagine. We've seen some incredible play from so many people. This young lady has gone to the swell so many times the last couple of days for second putts. It's been impressive. Hasn't come up empty yet.
Well, she certainly hasn't been the precision player today that she was in the first 3 rounds, but there's been a lot of heart in this golf game.
Yeah, and after that inauspicious start to the final round, finally gathered her nerves, gathered her thoughts and emotions, and found a way to, at this point, at least be tied at the top.
She gave it a little bit of the Keegan Bradley eye.
Again, and yet again.
Impressive.
String of pars since the 11th. Coming off that birdie at 10. Inbee Park laying up at 18.
And it's a good one. The thing you have to guard against is going too far left or right, and that was ideal, given where she drove it.
Okay, so she's in a good position at 18. Jennifer Song, already having played that approach, has a birdie putt to get her to 15 under, which would put her on top of those two waiting right now. But first, the walk. Song and Jody Ewart-Shadoff crossing to the green. Jennifer, 28 years old. She was born in Ann Arbor. Her dad was in school at Michigan. Big night, Monday night coming up for them against Villanova.
Yes,
but
sir.
they moved back and forth from the States to South Korea. Came back, went to school at USC. Was a 2-time All-American there. And now looking to break through with a win for the first time in the LPGA Tour.
You know, one of the great things about the sister effect out here is you have someone to work with. You have somebody who will go to the practice tee with you all the time, and you can share a lot of things. But most important thing right now, this from 6 feet.
And again, like the putt on the last, Judy, there's nothing really easy about this. I mean, the pressure, she knows what's going on. The leaderboard's literally right there. She glanced at it before she crossed the bridge. And she knows what this will mean for her career.
I think this is not a difficult putt to read. I think it's going to pick up speed. It's going to be quick. It should want to turn a little left, but with any speed at all, it may not.
To be the first to post 15 under. Fight on, Jennifer Song. What a finish, what a day.
4 rounds in the 60s. Everybody's got to have their breakthrough day. And this could very well be the one that's going to be for Jennifer Song.
And the wait is over for Jessica Korda, Ariya Jutanugarn, and it's 15 under now. That leads it as we head back to the tee at 17.
No, Lindbergh just trying to figure out the wind here with her caddy and fiance Dan Taylor.
No way she knows she's one back right now. And to make things even a little more complicated, just got warned, this pairing did. Just got warned that they're out of position. Not on the clock, but warned. Going with 5-iron.
Jessica Korda waiting behind the green. Her day is done. Will not be able to get into a playoff now.
Good swing if there's not too much club.
It's a little too much. It's going to be up where Ariya Jutanugarn was in that very quick putt. What do you think, Judy?
I think it's really beautiful the way you see so many players like that unwind from the ground up and stay in the shot through the impact area.
Meanwhile, up at 18, the third for Inbee Park.
She's pulled out a 9-iron, 121 into that very strong wind, as we heard Jennifer Song's caddy talk about. You can really see the flags whipping by the putting green.
I think she likes it.
And she should.
Don't celebrate yet, Jennifer. Think about what she has done the last couple of holes, too. That putt at 17, and now this. Got to go in.
We've seen that happen here before, haven't we?
Kari Webb.
Roughly 10 paces ahead from where Inbee hit, going with wedge. It's got to be perfect. Too far to the left, I'm afraid.
So her sister Aria just found out she won't be in a playoff, and Moria coming up short there, but it comes down to this putt for Inbee Park to catch Jennifer Song in the clubhouse at 15 under. Just missed.
Back on the 17th, Pernilla Lindberg needs a birdie.
Lots of different contours on this putt, but it goes uphill right before it goes down the cliff.
18 might be a better chance for birdie than right here. You never know. And again, she leaves a putt short. And again, she needs to hold a par putt to stay in it.
Aria Jutanagarn watching her sister Moria and Inbee Park on the green here at 18.
And Judy, it seems like Moria just keeps adding to, positive outcomes that aren't quite the full deal. But all of these things, I see in her a confidence and a more relaxed attitude when she's in the hunt now than we saw, say, a year ago.
Well, there's no doubt she's got winning in her future. I just can't put my finger on when that is.
Inbee is staring at the board, knows full well where she's at in relation to everything.
Sisters from Thailand very much in the movie this afternoon. Both of them, though.
It's for par. And another one. How many times?
Today, she's the best 4- and 5-foot putter I've seen.
Still in it. And they will make their way quickly to the 18th tee. We will go to the 18th green.
And as we know, yes, you can make a birdie here, making it a 3-shot hole, this par 5, and that's exactly what Inbee Park is trying to do now with a putt that's even shorter than that which we saw from Jennifer Song.
She brought out her green reading guide, which she doesn't look at very often, to double check what it does around the hole.
Share of the lead. And then there were two.
At the start of the day, you thought you knew it. Then midway through the day, you thought, well, maybe that's not going to be right today. And then a little later on in the day, you thought maybe you knew it again, and now you know it.
Oh, the end of this script hasn't yet been written.
She was the player that everybody thought will be there at the end.
Yeah. 6 years out here on the LPGA Tour for Moria Jutanagarn, still looking for that breakthrough victory. Gave it a run this weekend. 66-69 the final 2 days. And her sister waits on the other side of that bridge for a hug, no doubt. And Inbee Park has still got work to do, perhaps. So here at 18, this is what we've seen. Jennifer Song, 3-shot hole, 3rd shot. And you wonder, is it too much right now? Is it going to go off the back edge? Will it come back? Love how that crowd noise, the gallery noise changes and then builds. Still wasn't sure, but she would make it to get to 15 under. Followed up by Inbee Park.
I think we would have all almost bet serious money that was going to be inside of 8 feet.
I'd have bet the house she was going to make the putt, too.
Yeah, well, there you go.
House, the farm, everything I own. And she did. So 2 at 15, and now Lindberg back on the tee at 14 under.
Into this breeze from the left. Almost a guarantee it's a 3-shot hole for Pernilla unless she finds an extra 20 in this swing. I don't think she knows that she's one back. Drifting toward the right edge.
Going to make it difficult all the way down to the last putt.
That wasn't a break exactly.
So it's a layup, but we'll see how difficult that layup is. Yeah, the sigh. It's been that kind of day. Jennifer Song in the clubhouse at 15 under. Inbee Park 15 as well. That final pairing playing the 18th. Pernilla Lindberg with 1 back.
I just like it. Yeah, exactly.
Jerry, are you concerned about the lip at all?
Yeah, she took 1 less club.
Yeah.
At the end of the plane. Yeah. Just left of that? Yeah, left of it. Like in between the 2 sets of punches? Yeah. Okay. That's the normal one.
They talked about trying to get 175 yards out of this, and she said, I don't think I can. That one's going too hard. Then made a late switch to, I believe, a more lofted club. It's a 6-iron. He's going to have a long ways in. That's if she hits a good shot here. Oh, just caught it perfectly for that shot.
Avoid the divots. Yep, okay. Interesting, Jerry say back on the tee that he didn't think she was aware she was 1 back at that point. I know it's a 3-shot hole. She can't really get there, but I would kind of want to know if I'm 2 back or 1 back at that point.
Well, the big leaderboard is up near. Whoa.
Yeah.
Glad we put the 5 back in the bag and hit the 6. The big leaderboard's up by the green. There is not a leaderboard anywhere near 18T, so unless she was asking,
yeah,
there wouldn't have been a way to know.
So Lindberg trying to win for the first time in her career and needs a birdie to get in that playoff. Take you back to yesterday and what she did here with her 3rd.
Memory tells me she had to lay way back and that this was a full 7-iron into the green.
We wondered yesterday how big that would be. going into that final round. It got her to 14 under, making the putt. She had a 3-shot lead to start the day, but struggled early. That lead was gone after 3 holes, but really has hung in there, making big putt after big putt today. In B, Jennifer Song. Wait to see if it's a 2-player playoff or 3. Two-time All-American at Oklahoma State, Pernilla Lindberg, and now 31 years of age from Sweden.
Terry had a chance to talk to Daniel after he got done raking the bunker when he was a great distance from Pernilla. He just asked, did anybody get to 16? So they did know indeed. 15 was the mark.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I understand. Yeah. What did you say? Next number? So that's
107 to the back.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So did you look?
I think so. Yeah.
What was the backpitch? 107?
Backpitch 107.
And that was the strongest wind we have had all week.
So I don't think it's probably not going to spin. It'll probably just one bounce to stop.
Yep.
So we can it mostly away.
So 100 to the pin.
Yeah.
Play
110. Just take 5 off.
Barely. I mean, that wind is strong.
Yeah. It's very small.
I liked it pretty cool. What do you think?
Yeah. Just want to follow.
Okay. How many off?
Just like 5.
Okay. And right on
Straight
it?
as left.
So left.
Step left.
Right. Step. Yeah.
You got it, Terry?
Got it. Saw the W on the club, too.
98 yards, and you saw it. Pitching wedge.
The wind is still the same?
Yeah.
So much of that is what you know as a player, but that little bit of confirmation from someone you trust puts it out of your mind. Beautiful shot, Pernilla Lindberg.
And how many times must she have gone over that in her mind? Growing up, playing collegiate golf, spending years out here as a professional player, under the pressure of a major championship to come up with that. And Amy Olsen here at third, 1 over for the day. And in that final pairing, been a disappointing final round for her.
It has been, but she's played admirably. A few missed clubs and hasn't really made a putt, but considering never a top 50 in a major championship, pretty impressive stuff.
From a small town in North Dakota, the North Dakota State, winning 20 times in college, trying to break through out here, and it's been a great 4 days for her. So that putt to get it to 11 under, made a birdie at the 17th. But the stage is set for Pernilla Lindberg to make the walk, and she hopes the putt.
There were a lot of times today when she could have been just whipped, just stopped dead in her tracks and let herself shoot 76 or something.
Yep.
She did not let that happen. One thing you don't know when you get in this position, if you've not been in this position, is how you're going to feel internally. How shaky you're going to feel, how really nervous you're going to feel. Maybe you're going to be calm. But until you get in that situation, you don't know.
Judy, I think it's the best point to make because I so often hear that question being asked of players. What did you learn the last time you came up short? And the obvious answer is, I lost. I learned not to lose. I didn't. But that is what you learn, isn't it? How you feel when you're under the gun.
Yeah. So maybe what you learned is, I got so really internally and physically nervous that I couldn't perform.
Yeah.
And I have to whip that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you learn.
And figure out a way.
Maybe you learn, I'm up to this. I just didn't really play as well as I should have.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that matter, that that you have some control over.
But you know what? If this putt doesn't go in, she'll be asked that question the next time.
Yeah.
Again.
It's the nature of our game, and I suppose many games.
Mm-hmm. First, though, it'll be Amy Olsen. Finish up with a birdie. 7 playoffs. Never been a 3-person playoff here at the ANA Inspiration.
Well, Terry and Judy, I don't know of another player in the field who's had more putts of that length this week, most of them for par, and successful, I think, just about every time.
Yeah, good point, Jerry.
Amy Olsen, whose husband Grant flew overnight to get here, surprised her at the start of the day because she was in the final pairing. Great way to finish up what has been a great week.
Not everything she wanted, but a final round of 72. She should hold her head high and, you know, count this as one of those experiences that she might need just down the road.
Going back out there to settle the 47th edition.
Gutsy round of golf.
Stand on that final tee knowing you have to make birdie. As Jerry said, in the end, they did know that no one had gotten to 16 under, and then to come through and join the playoff. And a very quick collection of her thoughts, a sigh at the end of that round, and they'll go back out there at 18. Time now for our Kia shots of the day. All 3 of the third shots here at 18. Jennifer Song, the first of the 3. Is dancing with that back edge. And enough spin to bring it almost all the way back. And would make it. You see the look on her face. Inbee Park followed that. And what a putt at 17 she made after the trouble at 16. Never a doubt with that one. And the last of the 3, Pernilla Lindberg. Trying to become the 3rd player from Sweden to win this major championship. Some kind of crazy final round, and we are not done yet. Catch your breath. You ready?
I'm ready.
15 under, Park, Lindberg, Song, and 19 wins between the 3 of them on the LPGA Tour. All next to the name of Inbee Park and 7 major championships. So 2 players looking to break through, and 1 who has done it many times. And the three players, normally you get in the playoff and you've got a couple of different type players, one maybe who could reach the green at 18, and two, really three similar players in terms of the way they're going to play 18.
I think you're exactly right. Three-shot hole for all of them. And I don't think the wind is the reason.
Yeah. So decision-making off the tee, probably not a big part of it. So let's see how they got here. Inbee Park with this at 17. Not necessarily a must-make, but pretty much.
She just has such a beautiful sense of distance, the speed she rolls the ball.
Needing a birdie because Song had already made birdie here. Perfect layup to that point.
Inbee's dad is here. He was not here.
For her win.
That's right.
Yeah. Back in 2013 when she won here. Jennifer Song. So this to get it to 14 there. Think about all the big putts we saw, not just from these three, but down the stretch on the back nine today.
Yeah, so many people, you know, making their run.
Similar spot for her, and she was the first of the three. I could listen to that all day, but then watch her face at the end. That kind of like, oh. Almost went off the green. Solid. They just take that for granted because we've seen it all day, but I mean, that's some putt.
It's a tricky little putt under a lot of pressure. There were so many shots today that were under a lot of pressure. Pernilla needed a comeback.
Yeah, this kind of kick-started it, didn't it? Needed something good to happen about that point in a round.
Yeah, great shot at the eighth.
Think back to like the third hole. After three holes, if you'd have told her you're going to have a chance, even though you had a three-shot lead to start the day and that's gone, you're going to have a chance for an approach at 18 to make a putt and get in the playoffs, she'd have taken it. Because she did have to turn it around, and then that putter was awfully good, making key putts coming down the stretch.
And ladies, this is a sudden death playoff for determining the champion for the 2018 ANA Inspiration. We'll play 18 4 times, and then if still tied, 10, 17, 18. Jennifer, you can pick first.
Double check, make sure those phones are on silent.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
So it's Inbee Park, Jennifer Song, and then Pernilla Lindberg, the order here. And what do you think, Judy, about an hour of sunlight?
That's probably about right.
You heard 18 4 times theoretically, and then they'll jump around.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about these three is you're going to start out with Inbee, and she has that very slow, very productive tempo. Then you're going to see Jennifer Song, who has pretty moderate tempo, kind of like we see from a lot of players. And then you're going to see a snappy tempo from Lindberg.
That's the difference, yeah.
Inbee going with the 3-wood like she did in regulation and finding the short grass this time instead of that thick rough.
Yeah, just in the first cut, but sits up really nice.
Wing hold, still over, just off the left.
First experience in a playoff for Jennifer Song.
I saw her friend Minjee Lee behind the green, kind of wishing her well while she waited.
Hit a high floater to the right side in regulation. This one's going to be just right down the middle of the fairway.
A couple of wins on the Symetra Tour, but not on the LPGA Tour. Her best finish, Song's best finish this year, a share of 31st, the HSBC. And Pernilla Lindbergh in a playoff for the first time.
And similar story as well, 250 combined starts counting this week from the LPGA, the Ladies European Tour, and the Symetra Tour in search of that first win. Can't tell you how impressive her grinding and her play on this back nine was today. She has now finished 4 rounds of regulation with either the lead or a share of the lead, and we're not done yet. I'm not sure she caught all of it.
Not quite in that bunker where she was. See part of the golf ball, but that'd be a bit of a challenge, that layup. One player the intermediate cut, one in the fairway, one in the deep rough. The leap into Poppy's Pond delayed a bit with this playoff, 3-person playoff, Park, Lindbergh, and Song. Everybody who was out here watching today who stayed right here. That ball really settled in. You can see part of it in the deep rough for Lindbergh.
Well, you might say the bunker wasn't any bargain the first time around, and it wasn't, because she was a little bit close to the lip. But a decent lie in the sand's almost easier than this rough.
Yeah, it might be. First, though, Inbee Park.
And a much better lie than she had in regulation. Judy, like you said, ball sitting up nicely in that first cut of rough, going with her 5 wood. Like to hit it center, left center. And that might be a little too far.
Yeah, it looked like it was
Wow.
starting left and it stayed there.
Huge error.
The ball isn't buried, but it's certainly going to affect the way she has to play that third shot.
Jerry, how tough is this?
Yeah, just to let that guy sit.
It's, you know, it's a little wispier than you would think, but it's lying into the grain. That's what makes it really tough. Contact from here is not a guarantee. Good solid contact. So there's a lot more variables than there was from the sand, as Judy was referencing. Just needs to advance at about 190. She'd have the identical distance in she had in regulation, but that's a lot to ask from here. Did pretty good. It's not going to get the 190 out of it, but did very well to get it there.
Yeah, pull back, give you a little perspective here. So a little farther back, but just fine. And now Song.
Song was really in between clubs with her third shot, although she played a fantastic one. I think she'd like to get this about 5 yards closer than she did in regulation, just so she could have a fuller shot. Perfect lie on the fairway.
Yep, there it is. So you got 2 in the fairway. Inbee Park not in the fairway for her approach, as they try to do at least what they did on the 72nd hole.
Well, it's a par 5. It's imperative you give yourself a good look at birdie.
It is kind of odd to see this 18th hole played at a time when you know they're not going for it in 2. Normally we come down the stretch at the end of this
That's right.
tournament or in the playoff, and there's a question off the tee and then on the approach.
Well, it's just enough, even with the tee up, of a risk-reward scary shot, that it hasn't taken a big wind to make a difference.
Just enough of the wind today to not allow these 3 at least to go after it.
Now, this is the one time that I think internally, NB has to be a little calmer than the other two. I mean,
even after that shot?
Well, her predicament is another thing, but this is where when you've, completed this road 7 different times, you have a presence of mind about you.
Now 3 of 6 in playoffs, and she has won 7 major championships on those 19 LPGA wins out here. You see where the golf ball of song is in relation to Pernilla Lindbergh.
Yeah, 98, 117.
So, 9
It's got to be that.
Yeah.
Now, the key thing is
Although you are...
give yourself a nice full shot.
It's not going to spin. It's not going to spin up.
No. Let's go. This feels like it's all good. 117.
Small 8.
Like, when we're saying small, what are we? Oh, that's small?
It's more about the flight, isn't it? It's not,
Oh,
it's not the
absolutely.
distance. It should go the distance. It's this one, but it's very flat. It's done.
She finished 4th at the CME at the end of the year last year.
You like it?
Her coach took pictures of her name
Still
on
like
the
it?
leaderboard. Told her he was going to pull those pictures out if
Yeah,
she
the
doubted
flight's not
herself.
moving by the green as much.
Yeah.
Putting green.
Okay. Should die down here.
Time to replace those pictures. One better here.
113 between a 9 and a wedge. Pretty sure she went with the wedge. It's 20 feet left.
Oh, it's not coming back. If that is 6 inches shorter, it might. NB Park now from this primary cut of rough.
This obviously could be worse, but it's still going to make this shot very difficult. She's going to have to allow for some hit and release, trying to carry this 95 yards, maybe to the top of the ridge. Well, she went a little bit further and got some decent spin on that. What a shot.
Certainly makeable, especially if your name is NB Park.
Right off of that camera.
Much more decisive with this shot second time around. She is closer. And therefore should be able to play a full shot.
With a chance, but the best of the 3 and the best chance here is the 7-time major champ. Sunghyun Park loved it at first.
And that's Minji Lee alongside, who shot one of the 64s this week.
it's a different walk, Judy, because you're making it not as the champion yet, but the three of you still are alive, and you might make it again and again.
Yeah, I think advantage here to NB Park simply because she's such an extraordinary putter. There's not an easy putt amongst the three.
Yeah.
That young guy, Brad Beecher, has been with NB almost since she's been a professional. He has caddied for her every step of the way. Australian. Gentlemen.
And major champ taking pictures. Always fascinated by what's going on inside, too, of athletes at this point, late in the game. And I would imagine if you are Jennifer Song, initially you were feeling great about that shot until it released all the way down to the edge. And if you're in B Park, where you were trying to play that shot, you were thrilled with the way things turned out.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think Jody Ewart, Jody Ewart, excuse me, please. I've just got too many golfers on my brain. Pernilla hit a pretty good shot that so many times will take that little spin and then come back down the hill.
So my point is, two of the three are disappointed with what just took place, and the one who is in the worst position to play the shot is the happiest. Of course, that all could change with the next putt.
I've only watched Pernilla almost every stroke that she has played since Thursday, and then
we got you. You're good.
Flipped to the wrong name. Please forgive me.
It just did hang up there, though, didn't it?
And that's incredible, Derry. You're right, just a couple of inches, and that's right down 5-6 feet from the hole. She has struggled with her speed on the long putts all weekend long, leaving them short routinely. And I think that's impossible here.
I was going to ask you, that's going to be pretty hard to do right here, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd have to whiff it.
That left for par. She's made everything coming down the stretch, but that was asking a bit too much there. Song from the edge now.
This is uphill. So she can, but give it a good roll.
A completely different look and putt from the first one she had in regulation.
Well, and I think if you're in Song's position, you know that you've got NB Park on the green with a birdie putt herself, and how many chances do you want to give NB Park?
None, really.
Exactly.
This is a great angle, though. It's just a little slower. Make sure you give yourself a chance.
Just the curl at the end, doing her in. So Mark in the line there, close to the line of NB Parks. And nothing but a tap in. So that name already on that Walk of Champions. And with this putt, could add it once again. Sister Ina watching NB.
The whole family is here, including her high school golf coach, who has come to this event every year. Inby never ceases to amaze me how calm and cool she seems in the most tense moments.
And this is the type of putt she has made time and again in big moments. Nope, not going to get there. Did not get it to the hole.
Boy, and that not going in has put so much pressure on Pernilla Lindberg.
So in with a par, and it's that coin of Jennifer Song just to tap in, but you're right now, Pernilla Lindberg with a lot left to stay alive. However, how many times today have we said that and she's come through?
Yeah, we have said it over and over, but, you know, we have also said this is her strength. She has been rock solid, strong with all of these kind of putts that take every nerve you have.
And resilient. You're right, little Keegan Bradley. Still alive to fight again.
I don't know if her coach from Sweden's been working with her on her putter, but whatever he's told her, she sure has got it right.
Man. So they will go back to the tee at 18. Came down to Inby Park with a putt that, be honest, you'd have said better than a 50-50 chance that would go in.
Yeah, because it's in B.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was in B, though.
Sure.
I'll go back to the tee. So they've gone back to the tee at 18. Inby Park will be first to go here.
And this going more to the right.
Yes, it is.
Oh boy, that is going to be problematic right in the edge of that bunker. All depends if she'll have a stance or not.
Still holding up to 11 o'clock.
So all pars the first time around.
Split that bunker.
Good. Yep, we're good.
This one also drifting a little right. That's got to sit. Oh, it buried.
0 for 2 finding the fairway. Yeah, you can't see that at all. This is dinner time, about 6:30 locally. Sunset just after 7 p.m. here. They think they could get this in again after this if it's still time, but or tied, but I don't know.
This also drifting a little right, but it's going to still catch the right center of the fairway. That's her best of the three.
Yep, definitely the best that we have seen from her. So they are playing this 18th hole for the third time, including regulation, and Park, Lindberg, Song, one of them in the fairway. Look at Inby Park as she walks up to her second here at 18. 7-time major champ. Last one coming back in 2015, that Rico Women's British Open.
Yeah, that British Open was at Turnberry, and there was some real Scottish weather that week.
Yeah. Broke through back in 2008. Quite a career for her to this point, but trying to add to that. And the ANA that she won back in 2013. It's the toughest part. Maybe the challenge mentally of being in a playoff. Long day.
Yeah, I think adrenaline keeps your energy up. I think
well, first in B near the lip here.
Yeah, you know, she is fairly, it's a low lip, but she's going to play it safe and go with an 8-iron. And that's well done, just to ensure she gets something up there relatively straight. She's going to have a longer shot in, most likely, than the other two.
It's a long time to keep your concentration.
that is true, and you can go into the playoff very up because of how you got into the playoff, or you can go into the playoff sometimes a little down because you feel like you gave something away. I'm not sure that's the case with any of these three.
And now they've gone through one hole where they've all parted and survived.
I think so. Just kind of advance it there.
Well, we've named all these caddies. Jennifer Song's caddy is Erin Landry, and she seems to have a good rapport.
Oh, look at that lie.
I actually think this is a better lie than the one she had in regulation play. She punched out a hybrid, got it running all the way down the fairway into a good spot. And really that's all she needs to do here. And you're right, Judy, about the rapport. The pair of them really just, with her caddy, Jennifer, really just talk things through very nicely. He puts her mind at ease and makes her commit to the shot.
Hang on.
Settle.
Just carried through. A bit of a bare lie with a little grass behind it, it looks like.
Yeah, the dry patch, though, will definitely be easier.
But a whole lot closer than she has played from. Lindbergh now.
Well, it's 229 to the front, but into this breeze, that is definitely out of reach and laying up with a 4-iron, so she's trying to get it down there quite a ways. That looked to be a little bit mishit off the toe right there. Badly.
Get away with it in terms of keeping it in the fairway, but that's how far back it is.
Well, I think she lost a good 20 yards.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to get your mind right for. I want to be aggressive, but I don't want to make a mistake. You know, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot in this playoff.
Yeah, and that's part of the challenge. It's part of that concentration too, where you have a lapse and you say, oh, "I'm going to go after it. I'm going to win it right here."
Right. That's right.
Fighting that urge when maybe in certain situations you should be aggressive, but right here, it's a 3-shot hole for all three of these players, no matter what. But all three also, and maybe they've been told, because of darkness looming, have been much quicker on this hole, in the second playoff hole. So in B, looks to be the first to play.
She is, and with Pernilla's less than stellar layup, she's only about 4 or 5 paces ahead of Indy on the left-hand side.
I reckon 39 is probably like 47, I reckon that's just under the club because that air's a bit cooler now. I like that one. 44 to the flag. That flag's playing. 52.
Indy's husband, Giap Nam. He's also the coach.
Yes,
She's 20 yards behind where she was in regulation. Has a 7-iron, 144, probably playing a good 150. Oh, this well out to the right. Not a good strike at all.
Just barely hangs in.
That was a pure wipe, Judy.
And if you're not familiar with that term, just let me tell you, that is the club moving a little bit to the left with the face open. And it's just called a wipe because the face basically wipes the side of the golf ball.
Look at how close that is. And she's thinking, thank goodness for the long grass. Opening now for the other two.
Yeah, and it's whenever.
Yep.
130 yards to the hole. Breeze still pretty strong, but not as strong as it was just one hole ago. It's an 8-iron.
Yeah, she'd like to take the ball right at those 3 very tall palm trees just to the left of the flagstick. Green has enough of a slope to maybe feed the ball down to the right 2 or 3 feet.
This is a very direct line just left of the hole.
About the putt NB Parkhead.
Tad longer, but pretty close. Have to say she might have been trying not to visit the back fringe again.
Uh-huh. And how about this lie in this shot coming up for the song as we listen in?
70.
So, do you like your total number right at 70?
Yeah.
Coming in probably just off the cameraman. Let that slope kind of take it. Perfect. Trust it.
Although the grass has been flattened, Terry, it is slightly awkward that it's growing away from her, which might have the tendency to want to make the club open as it's coming through the grass. She's going to have to hold on tight for this to stop it from wanting to go to the right.
This could be really good. And it'll be a similar putt to the one we saw her make in regulation.
Yeah, maybe 3 feet longer, but exactly that line.
Yep. So on this Easter Sunday, they make the walk once again. Will it be for the final time? Judy, I love the sounds of a major championship and at times the controlled chaos.
Players love it too. I'm fascinated over the last years the way players respond to the enthusiasm of crowds.
Uh-huh.
And there's nowhere where we see it more than in the Solheim Cup and the Ryder Cup. But the major championships, you know, are certainly next.
The other aspect to that is the team that you're trying not to let down. Here it's you. It's you and your caddy. That's the team out there. That's it.
It's a lonely old game when you're on this spot.
Can be, right? Much different experience first time around for NB Park. With that win in 2013, she had a 3-shot lead going into the final round and won by 4.
And Terry, now she's in the position where, it's unlikely she's going to hold this, but she has to ensure she gets it close to ensure a par and hope that's good enough for one more hole.
It's no gimme. Sister, husband, coach, still believing. And that putt is definitely longer than what we saw from NB Park, the one Lindbergh is facing.
She had 2 birdies, both tap-ins on the back 9 today, 7 pars, 3 of which were 2 putts with lengthy second putts, and the others were scrambling pars. So it has been a putting exhibition from short and mid-range. Nothing of this length went in today, but she did make quite a few the rest of the week.
Talked about the strides she had made. Coming down to this now, be in with a birdie. Just would not come down.
Well, she hit a beautiful putt.
Sticking with the routine to the very end. First in with a par here on the second playoff hole. Mentioned John Carlson, her coach, putting coach. The mental aspect of it. You got to be proud of what he saw under pressure this week. Thought maybe. So did he. So it is up to Jennifer Song. And a putt that she made in regulation. And maybe just outside of that, but the same line as you said. So a couple of par putts just to stay alive now. And NB Parks is, I mean, maybe it's one that she makes, but this is no easy putt. It drips over the edge.
You know, the thing that I noticed is she had the putt completely lined up. She knew exactly what she was going to do with this putt before Jennifer Song putted. She took no time.
2 pars and now this. To remain alive. And they will do it all over again. 3 pars the first time, 3 pars the second time, and they'll go back to the tee if darkness doesn't fall again. We have seen this movie before. Back to the tee at 18. This the 3rd playoff hole with NB Park and Jennifer Song, Pernilla Lindbergh. All pars the first 2 times around.
Now, you and I have this discussion a lot of times and for a lot of reasons, but I think adrenaline has you going at this point. You would sometimes tell me that adrenaline can only do so much.
I think adrenaline wears out at some point, and you've got to really fight your concentration as an athlete when it goes on and on. That's all. I think you're right. You still have some adrenaline, but you've played this now 3 times. You've played a long day of golf, and you got to make sure you keep up your concentration.
A long 4 days of golf.
Yeah.
Terry, I think the one thing that's helped is that there was cloud cover today and that wind picked up and it kept it from being that searing heat that we saw earlier, and it's helped everyone stay a little fresher.
NB first again.
Driver for NB?
Ah, well, she didn't like the way she hit that last 3-wood, did she?
Thanks, Mike. Good one.
And that's a beauty. It's been a while since she hit a driver, and she did it quite well.
And she's now questioning her decisions the first couple of times around.
I like going right over the palm trees.
They're making this look easy, but anybody is invited to go back to the tee and look at the shot. This is a tough tee shot.
And when you think about Cinderella stories, obviously Jennifer Song trying to win here, but her caddy, Aaron Landry, little Cinderella story for him too. Cancer survivor, and now with a chance with his player to win this major.
Yeah, good job, Jack.
Another good one. Yeah, in terms of players, you've got a couple of Loyolas in this playoff. Lindbergh and Song trying to win for the first time against one of the best ever out there.
Just sticking to that routine. Hasn't wavered. Occasionally an extra look or two, but still it's I just can't tell you how impressive her performance has been all week, and especially during this playoff. Gritty, Judy, gritty.
That should be good.
Yeah, that's her best one yet. Maybe right edge. Further than the others.
Gritty is a good word, Jerry. We've just seen so much of what's in her and just how strong she is under adversity today.
On we go. Sunset here in the desert, officially just after 7 o'clock locally, so we don't have a whole lot of daylight. This most likely is going to be it. You've got 3 very good tee shots out there now. Anybody in a position to maybe give it a thought?
Well, NB's 228 to the front. That's a no-go. Karen, 210 to the front for Song. I think that's still going to be a lot to ask.
And I've got 207, so it is potentially, but it is into the wind. Ball is on a slight downhill lie. And I don't know if she's got that with a 3-wood.
Yeah, I don't think NB ever thought she was going to be able to get there in 2 going with driver off the tee, but rather that her 3-wood was not working very well, and and she got a good solid drive, and this will enable her to have a better layup than she did last time, or 2 times ago, excuse me. And get it down there a little closer. Well, she's pulled this one a little bit. Oh, did that get into the rough?
Yeah, it is in the rough, but it is sitting up in the rough. We'll have to wait and see. And not pleased. Right side of the fairway for Lindbergh.
Wasting very little time trying to erase the memories of the last layup shot that she completely whiffed. Much better there. Piercing ball flight left center of the fairway. It's going to be another wedge in.
Just about perfect. Start to see those lights shining as darkness settles in. Iron in hand now for Song.
And not really a surprise. You really need something that was going to carry 217, which would leave you sort of middle of the green and releasing back. That's a tough order into this wind. And into this fading sun, it looks such a long way right now.
All right, not far from the drop zone.
I don't think too much trouble for anyone. Indy might have to hit a shot that she lets release just a little bit, but the lie does not look dreadful.
Does the repetition do anything to you as a player?
Well, yeah, I think if you had done something less than perfect, you start trying to second guess and see if you can't figure it out better this time around.
Yeah, but also maybe think too much. So we'll take you back to how we got here. The first playoff hole in Indy Park with a chance to win it. So left it just short. This was a big putt for Lindbergh to stay in it. That was outside that gimme range, and it's been solid that way all day, all 4 days. And then Jennifer Song on the second playoff hole would have won it. Indy Park to stay alive. And Song had a relatively short putt, so here we are, and it's about 8 minutes away, maybe, from darkness settling in. So the third shot's coming up, and somebody doesn't win it here. Rebook your hotel room, Jude.
I'm here tonight, so I'm all right. You're in a little trouble.
It's a long way to L.A. Get back here.
Kind of hard to believe with 3 balls in this position that we don't see birdie.
And I prefer this angle coming into this whole location, right side of the green. I really feel she can go right at it using her 52-degree wedge. This from 85 yards.
Beautiful move through the ball.
Needs it to spin.
It's just about her putt.
Yes, it is. She's 1 for 2. Let's see what the third one brings. How about the lie for Indy Park?
It's not all that bad. It's actually sitting up fairly well. Little bit of grain going into her. It's interesting. She's right over there, almost hitting out of the glow from the scoreboard, and giving the grass a little bit of an iridescent look. hitting down the length of the green.
So if you are Jennifer Song and Pernilla Lindberg, you're thinking, I better make birdie to stay alive. In B, under the spotlight, more than one way. And now Lindberg.
81 yards, both birdies she's made in the last 3 hours. With a wedge it in her hands to tap in. She needs it now.
Well done. Not one, not two, but three very makeable birdie attempts coming up. Mom and Dad love it.
Yeah, this is Jan and Gunilla Lindberg. And they are both golfers. Her dad, quite an accomplished golfer.
I know you live and die with almost every shot of these young athletes out here. Imagine being a mom or a dad and watching your daughter.
Yeah, it's something that you know, if you're not in that position, probably pretty hard to imagine. But you have no control over this situation, and yet you're completely emotionally involved.
You're bursting with pride the entire time, and yet you're up and down the entire day.
Well, how about the way these young women carry themselves and conduct themselves?
Yeah.
And as I've said in Pernilla's case today, bounce back from adversity. And Pernilla is way up there on the likability chart, you know, and NB has such a nice way about her and so much respect from so many people. And I don't know Jennifer Song nearly as well, but I only know nice things about Jennifer Song, and she's a fairly quiet person.
And this was the reaction when the shot was taking place. So take your pick, Judy. You've got three. Well, we've seen pars all around the first two times. I don't think we're going to see pars all around this time.
Well, you could see three birdies, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see one, and then we have to see what Pernilla and Jennifer Song can do. NB has missed a short one, but for the life of me, I can't remember when.
There's no videotape evidence of that. That same routine for Jennifer Song with the golf ball behind the coin, and then replace that.
This putt is a slightly different angle. It's a little more straight down the hill. I don't know. You all down there in the ground may see something better, but this could be pretty straight.
It's so hard to see any line right now, Judy. The sun is really, makes it very difficult to read any kind of line. And very sensibly, she kind of walked up, down her line just to try and feel it in her feet, because it is tough in this fading sunlight.
Yeah, you know, those of you who watch golf all the time, it's much darker than it appears through the cameras. Outside of it the entire way. And now she's got a hope for a mini miracle. In with a par. Jerry, from what you can see, and Pernilla's parents can see. What do you make of this putt?
Well, it's underneath the hole. She hasn't had many like that all day, and she's been so very good at them. A couple missed ones early, but from that point forward, she had, nearly a dozen of this length and shorter, and was 100% on them. Pretty much straight uphill to me. And she hasn't really missed the center of the hole on putts similar to this. And I think, Judy, you're reading this as much by memory and by what you feel in your feet than you are by eyesight.
How great has she been with the putter?
She has been the champion of the 6-footer.
Hasn't backed off all day, all 4 days. And now in B to match. Yep, rounded in. So, in B Park, able to match Pernilla Lindbergh. And Jennifer Song takes it all the way to the 3rd playoff hole.
Great golf from her this week. Admirable, the way she played in this playoff. And I have to say, I guess it just wasn't meant to be because she didn't do that much wrong.
No, absolutely. So it is much darker. You see the flash bulbs going off now, and you can tell just by that how dark it is out here. As NB Park and Pernilla Lindbergh are walking like they're going back to the tee. It's 7:11. It is after official sunset. And we'll get the official word in a second. And we are told now that their parents applauding. We're told they're going back to the tee.
They are doing a great favor for all these fans here by making an attempt to get this done, and I just give them all the credit in the world. If they can see well enough to do this,
wow,
more power to them.
Are you surprised? Right? I mean, it is.
I am very surprised. We are in a booth, obviously, but we have the door open. We can see what it looks like outside, and this is a shocker.
It's pretty dark. So they very quickly will go back to that tee. 2 of the 3. 2 still alive, Lindbergh and Park.
I think Pernilla Lindbergh has to be getting a little bit tired because, for this reason, she has been up and down and all around today. I mean, she has not started well. She hung in there. She was tough. She fought her way back. Now she's in this playoff in the dark the 3rd time around.
Does it change at all as a player now that it's head-to-head? It's you against one other player.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know why it would. I don't have any feel for that. I really don't.
It'll be quicker, theoretically.
Yeah, what these players have to do is do everything quicker but swing.
It's the old John Wooden theory, dude. And be quick but don't hurry, especially when you get down to that point where you're actually performing the act of golfing, of playing.
Well, I have to tell you, they are taking a little bit of a risk.
Yep, that's good.
But there are plenty of players who wouldn't do this, where just one of the 2 would stand up and say, I can't see. Give them some credit.
Yep. Well after 7 now, almost 7:15 as NB Park again first to play.
Yeah, going with the driver again.
That's what it looks like. Thank God for the tracer.
Yeah, because I can't see it at all.
Left side hops into that intermediate cut, but sitting up.
It's good.
And if you can't see it, NB can't see it.
Great tee shot.
Yeah, no chance of seeing it, but I'm glad you guys got it.
Great tee shot.
You can't pick an aiming point. Playing by feel right now. So 2 good tee shots, one in that first cut, but sitting up just fine for NB. And Pernilla Lindberg in the middle of the fairway. Jennifer Song came up just short. She is with Lisa.
Terry, thank you. Jennifer, I know obviously disappointed about being knocked out of the playoff, but to put yourself in this position against Pernilla Lindberg, who led most of this tournament in Inbee Park, one of the greatest players in LPGA history, especially that clutch putt you made on the 72nd hole. What did you learn about yourself today?
I know that I can be up here, and I'm kind of disappointed that I wasn't able to make those putts in the playoffs, but I learned a lot. I'm very grateful, and I'm just, loving this moment right now.
And not only seeking your first LPGA Tour title, but this was your chance to win a major. What does this tell you about yourself and your game moving forward, and what you take away from this? What can we expect from Jennifer Song in the future?
I definitely think that I improved over the last years, and I feel very confident about my game. And I definitely see myself in contention in more tournaments. So I'm just really excited for everything.
I know you had a lot of close friends down there pulling for you, including SH Park, and watching a major champion. What did she say to you? What can you learn from her experiences?
Well, she just said have fun, and they didn't say anything. They just nodded at me, so I just nodded back. But just the look on both of their faces, we're just good friends, so we don't need any words.
Well, congratulations. I think the entire golf world enjoyed watching your performance. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, and impressive. Obviously disappointed, but she made, we talk about the putts that Pernilla Lindberg made today. She did as well on that back nine coming down the stretch.
I learned something about Jennifer Song. She is poised to win.
Putt she made at 18, regulation for birdie, and then a couple of chances in the playoff, and coming up short. We scroll through the leaderboards here. Caroline Masson made a run today, eventually a 68, was 4 back. Sun Young Yu, champion here, and that playoff over IK Kim.
Good target, mate.
NB ready.
I think the max that she wants to hit this is about 180 yards. Looks like she's going with her 5 hybrid. Very quick to get up over the ball. But that's her nature. She likes to play fast.
Well, the picture you're seeing on your screen at home is not indicative of what it is like out here.
They saw it a moment ago.
Wow,
They know.
dark.
Yeah, it's really dark. At least that light on the leaderboard giving you a little look at the green.
They found some other lights to try to help with the green.
I think that's left center of the fairway.
I think it's dead center of the fairway. Happened to catch it.
I think it's through the fairway.
Yeah, it's just jumped into the rough. It is not a really poor lie, but it may have some effect on the shot.
And we saw the camera operator a moment ago. I want to thank everybody out here in our group. It's self-serving, I know. It's us. We're one team. But from tape operators to graphics, everybody in the truck and out there on the golf course. It's a fun 4 days, but a long 4 days, too. So, well done and thank you. There's the light that you're getting, at least for the gallery to see the green.
Judy, walking up in the dark, you know, playing like this just harkens back to all of our childhoods when we play till dark, play till you couldn't see the ball anymore. And Donna Mummert, the rules official, after the last hole finished, went up to the girls and said, "Do you want to play one more?" And they looked at each other instantly and said, "Yes, let's do it."
It makes every aspect difficult and different right now, but especially you get up there trying to read a putt on the green that maybe you haven't had before.
Well, I guess the best thing we can say is they're both playing under exactly the same conditions.
Yeah, true.
And they're in agreement to do this.
Well, there's something to be said about your momentum that you have, the feeling, the confidence, you're warmed up. But this is definitely the last hole.
Our friend Bear has been up on that high spot, that crane, for 6 hours.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't either.
All right, Indy's third.
This with her 46 degree, which is essentially her gap wedge.
Hates it.
Yeah, she pulled it. It's been her miss today. Other than the one that she fanned that ended up near the hazard line, she's pulled a lot of her shots today.
So the door is open now for Pernilla Lindberg.
The lie doesn't look that bad. She is the definition in our industry of what is called backlit right now. The A&A logo on the scoreboard providing the most light. And she can see her ball pretty well. 78 yards.
Got to settle. Got to settle down. Well, between the two, you would take that one, I guess. But, boy, it looked good in the air.
You cannot land. You can hardly get away with landing the ball, though, at this whole location to the right of the flagstick. But that, of the two, that is definitely the more makeable of the two putts.
Is it safe for me to say this is it? This is the last hole they can play tonight?
I think so. But they do know the 18th hole pretty well.
I hesitate to say that because they went back when I didn't think they would go back to the tee the last time. Play this 4 times, so they would theoretically go to 10 next. But I don't think tonight. So we're playing some night golf in the desert for a major title. Artificially lit. There's 10. Go get them. I think it's 10.
You know, they did play night golf in the desert.
Yeah, you're right.
And it was more for the spectacularness of it than for a major championship. This goes on your resume as a big deal.
Well, there is more light on this green now than there was the last time around because of the lights they pulled in. But that's the only part of the hole you can see.
It's interesting, though, Jerry, with those lights that they fired up now, the 3 palms that are behind this are creating a shadow right over MB's ball. She knows how this putt breaks. It's downhill. It's going to be very fast. And she's not wasting any time having her caddy tend the flag. she hit that plenty firm.
No guarantee of the next one, Jude.
I don't know if that is a result of trying so hard to make it, or it's just quick and it picks up speed from up there.
Does it change the way Lindbergh putts this?
It could. In the back of her mind, she could think could win with a par. That's a long odds against NB Park, though. There it is uphill, little friends to go through. And again, getting it to the hole hasn't been her strength today.
This to finally, at the end of not a day, but a night, and it's what, 4:25 a.m. in Sweden, as she could win a major championship. Two par putts. She is just money. I mean, you cannot assume she's going to miss anything anywhere close. Oh, what they must be thinking. Okay. They just don't want to go home yet, Judy.
No, their business isn't finished.
No, it's not.
And, you know, you do what you have to do.
So, night has fallen here in Rancho Mirage.
10, 17, 18. Yes. Yeah. Good plan. We'll resume tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and play 10, 17, 18, 10, 17, 18. Okay. Good job. Thank you.
So you heard the instructions. They'll come back tomorrow, 8 a.m. local time. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time. And they'll play 10, 17, 18 to continue this playoff. Hey, Jude, you're not done with me yet.
Hey, Tara, I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Easter.
You got another half day with me. Happy Easter to you, too, and everybody at home watching. What a day this has been. And we're going to have another, at least part of the day tomorrow. Martha Munoz, Camilla Lindbergh. So that dream of her first win and a major championship still very much alive. She and NB Park going back out there tomorrow morning. They'll start on the 10th. We'll see if they can decide it tomorrow. Nobody left in this gallery. They're staying to the very end of this day to see if somebody could wrap it up. We'll turn out the lights. We'll come back here. Coming up next, by the way, Golf Central, bringing you up to date and all the news and highlights and analysis of all of today's action in the world of golf. Got a thought, Judy, as we say goodnight about two players now sleeping on this and coming back out tomorrow to try to settle it?
It's always a little hard to come back in the morning. You don't feel quite the same. It's just different. But I just give them all the credit for being as tough as they are and as good as they are.
Pernilla Lindbergh, Indy Park, back tomorrow. So will we. We'll be back with you at 11 a.m. Eastern Time from Rancho Mirage. See you then, everybody. Hills Country Club and the ANA Inspiration. The playoff continues between Inby Park, a winner of 7 major championships, and Pernilla Lindbergh from Sweden, trying to win for the first time, let alone a major. Terry Gannon along with the Hall of Famer Judy Rankin, the winner here back in 1976. How are you, Jude? You ready?
Good morning. I am ready.
We are in the booth. Jerry Foltz, Kate Cockrell out on the golf course, and Lisa Cornwell to talk to one of the two here. And there are people out here watching. They made their way in the early morning hours to watch these two battle for a major championship. It was all about 18 last night, and it was last night, not yesterday afternoon. It was in the darkness that they went back out there and played it for a 4th time. Originally, it was a 3-player playoff with Jennifer Song a part of that, but now we're ready for Pernilla Lindbergh and Inby Park. Donna Mummert will handle the duties here with the announcements at the 10th tee. 10, 17, 18. That is the structure for the format and the playoff today.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the continuation of the playoff for the 2018 ANA Inspiration. We will play holes 10, 17, and 18 repeated until we have a winner this morning. Immediately following the playoff, please join us at hole 18 for the prize ceremony and jump into Poppy's Pond. Inby Park, you have the honor. Please play away.
Playoff record for Inby Park doesn't begin to tell the story, though. The experience, what she has attained in this game through the years, 19 wins and 7 major championships. A challenge now to come back after all the excitement, the intensity, the pressure last night, and gear it back up again.
Well, this is an extremely strong player mentally.
Yeah.
I think she can be up for the task.
And a good-looking drive down the left center.
Par 4 that plays just under 380. Well done. Pernilla Lindbergh just would not go away. Has had the lead, or a share of it, all 4 days here and into Monday.
Nice shot!
That's up the right side of the fairway.
Gets that kick just to the intermediate cut, so it should be okay. Somewhat short grass there. So 4 playoff holes last night and the 5th underway this morning. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Rancho Mirage, California, it's continuing coverage of the ANA Inspiration. So the destination for that player that wins the first major of the season, Poppy's Pond, by the end of the day. We thought it was going to be last night, but no, it will be on a Monday here in the Coachella Valley. This is how we got here. That second playoff hole, Lindbergh with a chance to win it.
Boy, and it was turning right into the hole, and it just quit breaking.
It's so many good putts over the course of 4 days, and Inby Park has hit so many good putts over the course of an entire career. Just like that, nothing to it. You knew she'd make it. And then we go to playoff hole number 3, starting to get a little dark.
Ball in the rough, but actually quite a good lie.
So if you're the other two, you pretty much know at this point you got to make your putt.
Yeah, if there's a player in women's golf, you would give that to.
Jennifer Song looking to win for the first time. She played so well. Big birdie at 18 in regulation, but the missed putt, so she's eliminated. And this is Lindbergh having to make yet another one of those, as Peter Ellis would say. And then it's not that bright out there. Those are artificial lights. They're actually lights around the green at 18. A chance. And in B to extend it. They actually went maybe one more hole than anybody expected last night with the darkness that settled, and the lights of the scoreboard and the other lights that they brought in were able to play that fourth hole, but could not go back out there again.
Yeah, they were in agreement that they would play that hole one more time, and they would have liked to have found a winner last night, but it was a great thing for all the fans who had stayed around 18 that they gave it every possible effort.
Yeah.
Just 3 steps swing. It's a bit like between the pin and the one left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no wind that's going to make it roaring.
No.
Just pick something behind that's like the seas.
Yeah, just right edge of that chin ring.
Yeah, straight at that, yeah?
Yeah. It's funny on top, right?
Yeah.
.148 yards to the hole, 8 iron. Double checking with her fiance and caddy Daniel to see if that's the right club. He says plenty.
The hole deep in the green, 31 paces back from the front, 12 feet from the left.
Not that it matters today, but she hit it to tap-in birdie range during regulation some 16 hours ago. And that's going to labor to get back there.
Now in B.
And I think that was certainly very helpful for NB to see how the ball came in and reacted, and with the dew on the course and a little bit cooler air, things not carrying as far or rolling out like they would yesterday afternoon. This is a 9 iron.
Just hits and stops, but closer than Lindbergh right now. So a little bit of an advantage to NB Park as they play this 5th playoff hole, much different than the 18th that they played last night. 4 different times that par 5, and he had 3 players initially who were not going to reach in 2. So you get a par 4, par 3, and then, theoretically at least, that par 5. You've been to a Monday playoff, coming back out here. What's that like? It's so intense last night, and you just survive to the end, and now you got to come back out this morning.
Well, first of all, you're tired.
Yeah.
Because you have not had a lot of sleep. They always have this Monday morning playoff very early. But there's a letdown. I think the momentum and the emotion of the night before is hard to muster up again in exactly the same way. This championship is so big. It's big to NB because she knows what major championships are like. It is big to Pernilla because she hasn't enjoyed winning. I think that Pernilla has to take that attitude a little bit. I have everything to gain and nothing to lose. The only thing she could lose is she could finally lose the lead, because we have seen some inner something that this player says, I'm not going to let this go.
She has proven to herself and everybody else out there that she's for real. I mean, to hold that for 4 straight days at a major championship, that's something.
And when you kind of know that you know, what they're saying on Twitter and what they write in the paper is this is too big for somebody to win for the first time, like Pernilla, who's this journeywoman player. You know, look for somebody with experience. She knows all that.
Here's the reality, too. This today would change her life, certainly her career. It won't change the life of Inbee Park. She's won 7 major championships.
Pernilla has done a lot this week already to change her career, but you could not be more right.
Jerry, how about this putt coming up?
It's not the easiest. He's putting kind of diagonally across the tier in the green, so that's going to swing it left. At the hole, it looks like it runs away a bit. She did spend a great deal of time practicing her touch putts, her lengthy putts on the practice green, about an hour before tee times with her putting coach, Jan Carlson, who's actually received a PhD in putting, which I didn't know existed. But nonetheless, in moments like this, strange things can happen. She did, however, as you guys referenced, make 7 consecutive par putts of significant length on the back 9 yesterday.
So that's what's missing in our game, Jerry. We need a PhD in putting.
In the heart. Pretty well judged and a great stroke.
Beautiful putt, and it's not easy to have that kind of perfect touch early in the morning and on the first green on the golf course that you have seen.
Right about here, you start to think it's in. When she has missed putts through the 4 days, they seem to come up just short. That was a very nice effort on the Open.
And Terry, Inbee Park had a lot of nice things to say about Pernilla and her game and what she brought to the table in this major. And I think that was a pretty strong statement by Pernilla that she's come out with full confidence.
However, Inbee Park with a putt to win it.
Yeah, and this putt, really within striking range. She's only about 25 feet away.
Not Inbee-like. Most putts that she strikes have a chance to go in, and she's kind of the queen of the tap-in.
Yeah. Trying to keep the gallery from moving to that next playoff hole because she's got a little bit left here.
Tempo of this stroke matches the tempo of her golf swing.
So we will play on. Head to the 6th playoff hole, and they will head to 17, which is a par 3. Which Inbee Park birdied yesterday in regulation. Pernilla Lindbergh made par there and referenced the 7 major championships for Inbee Park, tied with Kari Webb and Julie Inkster. So moving up the list, looking for number 8, Patty Berg with 15 major victories. You know, you get to the point in your career, and she's definitely there, where you do set your schedule and focus in on the major championships. I mean, she's that level of a player.
Yeah, absolutely she is. And, you know, one of the stories of this week was Jessica Korda. Actually, both of the Korda sisters. Yeah. But Jessica talked about advice that and conversations that she's had with her dad, Peter Korda, about how do you peak for the biggest tournaments, for the major championships, and it seems to be something that NB has figured out.
Well, it takes a while too, right? Because it's trial and error also, and figuring out whether you want to play the week before. And now we talk about the Masters coming up and whether you play in Houston the week before or not.
There's absolutely an art and a science to it, because players like Jack Nicklaus figured it out better than anyone else.
True.
There aren't too many like Jack Nicklaus, but great example.
Maybe no one or one. All right, so a couple of pars at the opener here, and that's the way. We'll go 10, 17, 18, and if needed, I'll go back to 10 and start that cycle all over again. And so will the gallery. A lot of people out here, Jude.
I tell you, of course, they can, come flooding out of the beautiful homes around here and so on, but I think these two players, and including Jennifer Song, who was eliminated last night, they captured the imagination of so many people. The way they conducted themselves and the way they played the playoff, that now people want to see what the end game is.
You've had a day to think about it now. Yesterday was extraordinary, what we saw out here. There were so many players with a chance to win down the stretch on the back nine that made putt after putt.
That's right. It was really fun. We saw shots hold. We saw some great golf. We didn't see too much golf that was disappointing. We really did not. It was amazing. And amongst ourselves here on our crew, we had a little conversation this week about what great work the LPGA field staff did with setting up this golf course. They made it tough. In fact, I think in some ways they made it tougher than they have in previous years with hole locations and so on. The rough is more than significant, and they just set the golf course up very well. You could go low, but you couldn't make mistakes.
The golf course also helps. There's a reason they've come back here since 1972.
Well, and the golf course has matured since 1972, and I think the golf course has become a better golf course also because of this championship. I think the championship has exposed things that weren't quite as good as they could be, and they've all become better.
Pretty nice backdrop, too.
51.
Yeah.
Postcard conditions all week.
Oh, I don't card mine.
Watch your shadow.
So last night you had darkness, now you got the shadows you're trying to contend with up near the green. Rather contend with those. 155 this par 3, and Indy will be first.
Going with the same club that she used yesterday evening, 7-iron. And she hit a beauty here, right over the flagstick. Well, this going to the left.
Oh, big mistake, tough mistake. Depending on where the balls come to rest in the bunker, maybe not the toughest up and down, but I don't know, you can miss this green.
So you see that, and you're thinking, okay, I've got a bit of an opening here for Lindbergh.
Yeah, she had her struggles with some of the iron shots yesterday. Mishit one badly during the playoff on a layup. Mishit one earlier in the back nine. Yesterday, however, she hit her best iron shot, one of her best of the day right here. Happened to have one club too many when she went with 5. This is 6.
The hole is in a bowl at the front of the green. It's almost like a gathering bowl if you can hit the right shot.
Just a little left of the hole if it's enough.
Oh, did not take advantage. So one in the bunker, one in the deep rough. I'm not sure which is better here. We'll get a look at the lie.
Seems it just played a little bit long in the early morning.
So there's the ball of Inby Park in the bunker. Pretty good lie, looks like.
It is a very good lie. It's all the way down in the level, flat portion. Not a tremendous amount of green to work with. But she can play this a little bit left of the flag and let it feed down to the right.
great.
Jerry, what about the lie for Lindbergh now?
Slightly into the grain with some rather shortish rough, actually. When you look at it from right above the ball, much better than it appears perhaps on camera.
Yeah, we can't see it at all.
The problem is it's such a short shot, and as you hear me preach all the time, when you have a ball in the rough and you have to play it with an open face, you need some club head speed to get any predictability on contact. You just can't do that on this short of a shot.
Jerry, we've got a great camera look right now, and I think everybody can, visualize how short this shot is out of that sticky, thick stuff.
And wet.
Carried it quite a bit. All right, so it'll be Inby first, and maybe Lindbergh a little read off of that. A couple of par putts here. Not the same line, but not too far from it.
Both of these players in regulation yesterday hit the ball well beyond the hole.
Yeah.
Inby did make it from about 20 feet down the hill. Pernilla's birdie putt was longer from the back portion of the green, and I think
the difference in 4 in the afternoon and 8 a.m. maybe.
Yeah, I think the result they had yesterday, and cooler temperatures, morning versus that afternoon sunshine, that afternoon warmth, made them push a club.
I'm not sure either one struck it like they wanted to either.
Well, that's correct. Then the front of the green. I think a lot of people who play the game like front hole locations. I'm not sure the best players like front hole locations. It's they're a little risky if you're trying to keep the ball underneath the hole, that kind of thing.
Par putt for Inby Park.
Even though this is a little slower than it normally would be in the afternoon, still a very slick putt.
And how many times is she going to do that under pressure in a major?
She has to be considered one of the best clutch putters in the game, man or woman.
Overall, no question about it. And just walks away like I expected to do that. And she did.
Can we give her an honorary PhD in putting?
I think she's earned it.
Holy cow.
And so a ton of pressure on this putt now for Lindbergh to extend it.
I said it yesterday, one of the grittiest displays on the back nine of putting I have ever seen out of Pernilla yesterday. She has to do it one more time here. And talk about pressure, Terry. To the best of anyone's knowledge, only the second player in history to have slept on the lead of a major 4 straight nights, joining Retief Goosen.
Yeah, Goosen at Southern Hills, right? The U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of pressure, especially when you've never been there.
But this is what she did to get to this point in the tournament and now the playoff.
What do you call it, Jerry? Will it move left or is it pretty straight?
She's got, she motioned to Daniel, had it about 2 inches outside the right. It's so fast, any break is magnified.
Repeat. It's what she did to get here. It's what she does to get to the 18th. And yet another playoff hole. They don't want to go. Nobody wants to leave, Jude.
I'm just in awe of this player, those two players, the grittiness. I love that word.
Wow. Playoff hole number 7. They play on Inby Park and Pernilla Lindbergh. We're still trying to come to grips with those couple of putts, huh?
I'm saying I'm glad I got up at 5:30 this morning. This is worth it.
Watch out. Be careful. Oh. Yeah, you got to make your way through all the fans who have made their way out here. And I said it on the last hole, but there's even more people now out here watching this. Gathering gallery members as they go. So that's how they played 18 during the playoff holes. The pars going through the first couple of times, and then the par by Song eliminating her, a couple of birdies and a couple of pars on each of the playoff holes so far today.
That hole that you look at, of course, is exactly the same.
And it was a 3-shot hole every time yesterday for these two players.
And Terry, last night, MB's comments about this hole were not exactly positive. Feels like it does not set up well for her with her driver because she hits such a low trajectory. Those palm trees are somewhat in her way, has a hard time getting over them. And then she felt like with a 3-wood where she had to, the line she had to take, it was easy to run through the fairway.
Yes,
but going with driver this morning and teeing it up a little higher.
3 palms to the left of our television crane.
Nice ball. Nice ball.
Yeah, just taking it down the right edge of those palms. Beautiful.
Great tee shot.
Stay okay.
If Pernilla could come up with a super tagged tee shot, she might have to consider going at the green.
Exactly what I was thinking. She had one drive in the playoff that was at a tempting number without the wind. And she gets it in that maybe 210 yardage to the front. You never know. Left side of the fairway should be good. Very good.
Maybe?
Maybe. That would be some decision to have to make this morning.
I mean, that'd be tempting, but how do you go away from the pattern that got you here, too? We'll see when we come back. Absolutely still out here, except for the gallery moving around to follow these two in the playoff, 7th playoff hole here at 18. So you've got both players in the fairway, but Lindbergh way ahead of Inby Park. You see the 2 golf balls right there, and the difference between, and maybe for Pernilla Lindbergh in that zone where you're definitely thinking about going for it.
Terry, I don't think there's a question. Only 190 yards for Pernilla to the front edge, 219 hole.
Wow.
So 163 leaves you 68.
So as Lindbergh walks up to her golf ball, Lisa Cornwell, you got a thought on Pernilla?
Yeah, Terry, it was really cool talking to Pernilla Lindbergh after she finished her round yesterday. Kind of equated to a player or a person who had just run a marathon and was eager to run another marathon. She was 100% positive, not dreading going to sleep and getting back up and doing this all over again. She said, I can't wait to get back and just kind of get my mind off golf, focus on dinner, and then get up and go after it again. She was really excited about the opportunity, and especially going to head-to-head against Inby Park. She said it's such an honor and such a thrill.
This is her moment, her stage, along with Inby, who is ready now with her second.
With a 7-iron in hand for the layup. Trying to hit this 155 yards, give or take.
And here's the thing, Judy. Inby Park is going to be Inby Park. You know what you're going to get. I mean, it's excellence, but she doesn't waver.
Yeah, very, very few mistakes when she strikes the ball. Very, very little curving of the golf ball. She's an astoundingly good wedge player, and we're not even going to talk about her putter.
The blue turquoise one? Yeah.
And there in the end.
Yeah.
They're right at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going, Jerry?
Didn't even hesitate. Got the number, pulled out her hybrid. Got a target in mind.
All right, here we go.
A lot of talent, a lot of heart.
A lot of guts.
Set the left side of the green. That's miles from the hole. But safely aboard, Terry.
Yep, it's on the surface. Wasn't going to back down. And this is a player, I know that's a long way, and you got MB Park setting up for a wedge coming in, but she has gained a lot of fans and a lot of respect this week.
Oh my gosh, you know, I've been touting her for a few years, but she never seemed as though when she got a little bit of a chance that either she could handle the situation or that she was going to be labeled a closer. She has closed this deal no matter what happens, because we have seen her ability under pressure and her ability when she had to perform, when she had to make a putt, all those things. So think how differently she's going to think about her golf game the next time she goes to play.
And maybe in a way that's what she was saying to Lisa.
Yeah, exactly.
She's already proven it to herself.
Yeah, she has definitely had the crossover week that all players look for as they get better and better playing professional golf, playing any kind of competitive golf, I suppose, but this is the highest level.
31 years old now, from Sweden, hasn't won on the Symetra Tour, the Ladies European Tour, or the LPGA Tour. Went to Oklahoma State, two-time All-American.
And the shot she just played, the only thing you can do wrong with the shot she just played is miss right.
So Inbee Park now, a familiar spot here at 18 for her.
There's really no weakness to MB's game, but certainly when she's on, these wedges are excellent.
Including that one. Just in that range where there's a little bit of doubt, but I wouldn't wager against it.
Well, and then we look at this tremendously long two putt. But what I'm going to tell you about this very long putt is there aren't any big secrets about what it does. This is going to all be a matter of her touch,
which has been very good to this point.
Can you imagine how appreciated you feel when people welcome you like that?
Ought to feel pretty appreciated because this is the 6th time they've made this walk in the last day and a half. And Inbee Park, of course, has made this walk with a title in hand. Back in 2013, she won here. Her name's on one of those plaques, and she had a 3-shot lead to start that final round and eventually won by 4 over So-Yeon Yu.
Inbee's home is in Las Vegas, Nevada. On a lighter note, after she won the gold in Rio, she got a puppy. Named him Rio.
So what do you choose if you win again here? You're next to Mirage, Rancho, Dinah, maybe Dinah?
I don't know. Sergio named his little girl Azalea. It's all pretty sweet.
Jerry, have you had a look at Lindbergh's putt?
Yeah, it's almost as though she has to put this up on the fringe for a long while. It's in a position where you might even consider pitching it.
We've seen that here before.
Yeah. If that hybrid had cut 5 yards, it would be right where she's standing now, if not closer to the hole. but it didn't. And she is left with quite a mission. And it's a little uphill early, then downhill, obviously, the rest of the way. And it's pretty well documented on the weekend that she struggled a bit with the touch on the lengthy putts.
She's going to have a hard time, though, leaving this one short once it gets over the hill. If she can run it right along the edge of the fringe, keep it on the putting green, and get it to about 15 feet short of the hole where it'll start to take the turn, then that putt is really quick.
I think the goal right here is to lose your turn, to get it inside NBs.
She's got to get that ball right about here to get it to start to turn and take the slope. And it's also a case, you hear this from teachers all the time. Yes, the line you choose is extremely important, but the most important thing is if you can roll at the right speed. If you can roll that ball the right distance, you're going to leave yourself something that you can make.
For Eagle to win it, we're thinking about that next one.
Not sure she could have done much better than that at all without having to put it off the green. Excellent.
Yeah, and the pace was pretty near perfect.
And with that pace, you'd have to take it off the green for the line to be better. So, well judged again. And NB Park with a birdie putt now.
Terry watching NB in between shots. She's so serene, never fidgeting, never really practice putting or doing anything, just sort of staying calm and most likely visualizing the upcoming shot.
You know, Kate, she's talked about it. There's a lot going on inside. She is feeling pressure. She's feeling everything that everybody feels. She just doesn't show it. But for an opponent, for another player, fellow competitor, that can be intimidating.
Very much so.
Her routine for putting is so quick and decisive.
She always knows right away. And she left it short. In with par. It's the second time today you could say that's not an NB-like effort. And that opener back at 10. But made it at 17 to make Lindbergh have to make it. And now Pernilla with a golden opportunity.
She had a similar putt during the playoff last night. I can't remember which hole, and she saw other players with a similar line. Every one of them missed it low.
She had a putt exactly on this line, but about 3 times as long, that she missed just ever so slightly on the high side of the hole. This has been her distance, but boy, this is not easy.
No. None of them have been under major championship pressure, and now for the win. Wow.
John
Heavy
and
stuff.
Ganilla, her parents, we have a picture of, Jerry.
A better opportunity than this may not present itself.
What are we going to say, Jerry? Left edge?
Yeah. Maybe just outside.
Never a chance. Never had a chance. And after that, may want to take a little time here.
Yeah, that was the first sign of nerves I've seen today. And you could see it just in the way she reached down to mark that next putt. The hand was still shaking.
And her mom and dad can't believe it. To extend it. Okay. And they will head back to the tee at the 10th. This playoff continues between Inbee Park and Pernilla Lindbergh here in Rancho Mirage.
Card out of the way.
At 8:47 local time on this Monday, the ANA Inspiration continues, the 8th playoff hole now. And they're on the tee at the 10th. Inbee Park will have the honor once again.
Stand still, please, guys.
And this is where patience really comes into play when everyone's running around and there's excitement to get your place as the gallery. They're finally settled down. Inbee's very fast to play, so she waited a little extra. And that's a duplication of her drive about 45 minutes ago.
Got to feel like she's got new life.
Yeah, she had to be holding on with that last putt of Pernilla's because it was really Pernilla's to take right there.
Appeared to be some sort of sound in the distance there. Nice little baby draw, a little left of the line from earlier.
You know, she was distracted on that.
Yeah.
And you heard her complain as that swing came to its completion.
Yeah, we had a little what the heck, but it didn't affect the shot.
No, it was a good shot. Yeah, they played this hole, if you weren't with us, earlier to start, and this was the opening putt for Lindbergh for birdie. And it was there. It was right there. Well judged. And then Inbee Park with a chance to win it. And left it well short, like her putt that we just saw at 18.
Here's what I expect at 10 now. They've both hit good tee shots. And after the experience of the first time, no reason they shouldn't both get a birdie opportunity.
And know the green, know how it's playing, distance, everything else.
Yep.
Now the ball's carrying
Yep.
at this point. If you're wondering, the record for playoff holes, the LPGA, an event back in 1972 in Corpus Christi, went 10 playoff holes. Joanne Princess winning that one You may remember you were at the one at Kingsmill in 2012 that Paula Creamer won. That went 9 holes.
And obviously back in the morning, Jie Shin was the winner on that day. And it actually, best of my memory, it led up to the Women's British Open. And everybody was scrambling to
try to get there, yeah.
Get there.
Asked you earlier about coming back out on a Monday morning. So now you're past that initial, all right, I'm back out here at 8 a.m. It's not the same setting in terms of the crowd and everything else as last night and the pressure, and you played all day and it was a marathon, as she said. Now you've played 10, 17, 18, and the emotional highs and lows that you've been through turning into another day of that experience.
Yeah, I think now, though, you're deep into your golf mode, your playing mode. This is now just all about how you play. I think the emotion, until you get to that putt that could be the putt, is kind of calmed.
How much does one hole influence the next? What we just saw on the green at 18?
Yeah, I don't know.
Different for every player, I guess.
Yeah, it is different for every player. What I do know is they both know this second time around that they better give themselves an opportunity. Both here, if they go to 17, every one of these holes.
And I think the longer this goes on, the more it favors NB, because she's a little slow to warm up in the morning. And as the day warms up and as she gets a little more into her groove, you're going to see more precise shots out of her. This is a 9-iron. It's the same club she hit the first time around, but she's 6 paces closer, and it ends up just about the same spot.
Pretty close, a little different putt, but different line, but right about in that same area.
A little perspective for those of you at home. The bunker just in front of Pernilla is 270 off the tee.
She's 22 yards closer by my count than she was 45 minutes ago. 127 to the hole. This is a 9-iron. Fan still going to catch the green right center.
So advantage NB Park here at 10 as they walk up to the green once again. And here's the thing about this point in the playoff as well as a player. You do know that if you make one critical mistake, it's probably over. I mean, that's the pressure.
That is the pressure. You're trying to do something really great before you do make a mistake. NB plays the game generally so mistake-free. You know, NB's bad round these days is 72. So she's just that kind of a player. But, you know, sudden death playoffs are a different animal. And you can't always say exactly how a person would think and will think. You want to be aggressive. You want to give yourself every chance. But as you just said, you don't want to be the one to make a mistake. So it is different than playing medal play and a round of golf.
But what we've learned, at least from Pernilla Lindberg, is she's willing to take a chance. And maybe that was a go zone at 18 no matter what in that yardage. But it does take something to go after it when you haven't done it. When you've played it as a 3-shot hole the whole time and say, yep, I'm going after the green.
Well, I guess when you see the opening, you have to take it. And you're really going to question yourself if it ends and you didn't take it.
Now this is a putt. It's not the same putt she had, but she left the last opportunity she had here at 10 just a little bit short. Had a great read on it, but it came up just short. And so did Inbee Park.
The difference on this one being she's on the proper tier, so it won't turn nearly as much left early. It still is going to turn a little left early.
And Jerry, you said it the first time around. It runs away from the player just a little bit past the hole.
This makes you a little bit more defensive. She's had a lot of 3, 4, 5 footers for par, but she doesn't enjoy them, doesn't want to leave them.
Wonder how mom and dad are doing.
Nice relaxing trip from Sweden to the U.S.
Yeah, right.
I think what we're starting to know now is somebody's got to make a putt. Somebody's going to make a putt that's going to bring this thing to some closure.
Well, you thought maybe Inbee made that putt back at 17, but Pernilla wouldn't go away.
Reference, Ms. Rankin. And what a putt.
Well, unless a putt is made on top of it.
So back at 17, Inbee Park, much shorter putt than that, but made a putt, and Lindbergh able to make the putt to match. And okay, mom and dad are doing okay at the moment.
They're doing the wave.
So Inbee Park, again in that situation, having to make a putt to extend it.
She has the luxury of knowing what this does. She's a little closer and more to the right. I believe it will break a little more right to left. There's no way she's going to leave this on the low side.
And it doesn't matter how big the moment is. She doesn't change what she does.
Pernilla Lindbergh is a winner, and it's a major championship. She wins the ANA Inspiration and beats one of the game's best to do it. With an extra day's work. Oh, the ups and downs that mom and dad went through this week. Mostly ups.
That is Jan Carlson, one of her coaches.
Putting coach, as a matter of fact, and had to love what he just saw. To do it in dramatic fashion, too, Judy.
She is no longer in the list of players who are the best players to have never won.
You got that right.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you.
And another look at that moment when she realizes she's not just a winner out here, she's a major champ. As we send it down to Jerry.
Thank you, Terry. I do not know how you pronounce bulldog in Swedish, but whatever it is, you were tenacious out there. What did you prove to yourself all week and especially today?
I mean, I just know I'm a grinder, and I mean, it was just towards the end yesterday. I just felt this is mine. I'm gonna do this. I just knew I could, and I just kept fighting away, and I couldn't believe when that last putt went in. And you know, the first thing I said when I hold that last putt, I know Inge's gonna hold hers too. So I was still already thinking about the 17th hole again, but she didn't. It's mine.
It is yours. You're one of just a couple, I think maybe 3 players who have slept on the lead of a major 4 straight nights. I know it's an oddity, but it's also a whole lot of pressure. What did you tell yourself each and every morning getting ready for this?
You know, I just looked at every day as just the same thing again. And today, even though it's, you know, a playoff, whatever, it just felt like I went out, did my same routine. And every night I've just been doing my routine. And I just felt so calm, and I felt like this could be mine.
250 professional golf tournaments between the LPGA, the LET, and Symetric Tour. Your first ever win. How long have you dreamt of this moment?
I mean, since I was a kid. I mean, for as long as I can remember. I remember writing some goals probably right when I got to high school about like the dream scenario, and it would be to obviously win a major championship and leave a mark in history. But I think at the same time that felt like it too big of a dream to even come true, but it has.
You also got to join the list of other great country women in this sport, and you got to do it in front of your parents. Describe that emotion.
It's so cool. I mean, the only reason I'm playing golf is because of them. I'm so happy they're here. I've probably given my dad, I don't know how many heart attacks over the last few days, but no, I'm just so happy they're here and get to see this, and we get to celebrate it together.
All right, we got something waiting for you up there on the 18th green. Let's get it going. Congratulations so much.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, Jerry, thanks. Boy, some moment here, that winning putt. To sleep on the lead one day at a major is big. All the attention in the newspaper. You haven't been there before. She did it for 4 days and then won it. Something else. Inbee Park coming up just short. She is with Lisa.
Terry, thank you. Inbee obviously disappointed not getting this win, but you won your first of 7 major titles 10 years ago. Your last one back in 2015. A couple of years ago, we thought maybe we had seen the last of Inbee Park. Being back in this position, how motivated are you to continue to do what you've done on the LPGA Tour and write records in the history books?
Yeah, I'm really satisfied with the way I am playing this year. You know, even if I didn't win today, I felt like, you know, I put up a good play this week, all week. You know, even in the playoffs, you know, I didn't make much mistakes, but I just couldn't make the putts. You know, the morning greens were a little bit slower than I anticipated, so I hit a couple of putts short. I probably had a couple of opportunities, but I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm really happy with the way I played this week.
Anybody who's watched you play over the years, including people who work for Golf Channel, Judy Rankin has mentioned it several times, you're one of the great putters in the history of the game. To make the putts that you did yesterday, how do you keep doing that year after year when you're not playing as much these days?
Yeah, I don't know, but it just happened, especially on number 17th hole. I really thought that I had to make that putt, and I think I made a great putt there. I probably should have made the birdie on number 18, but it just didn't happen. So, I mean, it's just, you know, the putt Pernillas made on the last was a champion's putt. I mean, you really can't beat that.
Just quickly, you know what it's like to win that very first major title as you watch Pernilla and the excitement. How happy are you for her?
Yeah, I'm really happy for her. I mean, especially this win was not an easy major win for her as well. I mean, 8-hole playoff is, I mean, I've never done something like that before either. So I'm sure, you know, she'll have a great future and a great championship. Congratulations to her.
Well, congratulations to both of you. You all put on quite a show.
Judy, a champion's putt. That describes it.
That's the way a champion takes a loss.
Describes the day, describes the week for Pernilla Lindberg. A win here at the ANA Inspiration, that season-long race to the CME Club. Inbee Park on top, and number 6 is Pernilla Lindberg. The leap into Pope's Pond next. That is a much more relaxed and enjoyable walk this time around, Judy.
Well, I can imagine a little bit, but I really can't imagine what she's been through since Thursday morning. And for it to culminate in being the champion, and, you know, thanks to every single person that came out here early in the morning, they were part of this playoff too, and their energy translates to players.
No question. Yep. So this all a part of that Rolex Annika Major Award through the season, rewarding the player who performs best in the major championships. And you have to win one. You get points for the top 10 finish in each one of them. So Pernilla Lindberg leading the way right now. The U.S. Women's Open will be next, the end of May, beginning of June at Shoal Creek. And then the KPMG Women's PGA, Rico Women's British Open, Lytham St. Anne's, and the Evian Championship, Evian-les-Bains. So you last year's winner. We send it down to Jerry Foltz now.
Okay, as the crowd gathers around Daniel and Pernilla's parents, of course, for the celebratory leap. Pernilla, do you think your parents planned on their trip to the States ending in a destination of Poppy's Pond?
I really don't think so. I think this is probably bigger than they could ever dream of.
Do you have anything planned for us?
No, Daniel asked me when we came here in the cart, and I said, nope, just go with our instincts. That's what we've done every day.
All right, enjoy the most ultimate destination in all of women's golf, Poppy's Pond.
Going head first. Oh my God. Didn't expect that.
I tell you, Pernilla, she smiles easily. She's so friendly with people. I guess she'll smile even a little more easily from now on. She's accomplished one huge thing in her life.
Hey, we're going to go to the other mic. Okay.
And wanted it to go at least 4 holes because it's a little warmer right now than it was at 8 o'clock in the morning taking that lead.
We discussed that at 7:30. It's a little chilly.
This one will be remembered. That's a dive. That's not a lead. Oh.
And presenting the Imabari Champions robe to the winner of the 2018 ANA Inspiration. That is Senior Vice President of the Americas for All Nippon Airways, Mr. Hideki Kanugi.
Nice today. Okay?
Yes, please.
I'm thinking of her parents and what you won't do for your children.
You'd be there in a heartbeat.
And now it's a pleasure to turn over the proceedings to the Executive Director of the ANA Inspiration, Mr. Kevin Hopkins.
So we wrap things up on a Monday from Rancho Mirage. Helen Alfredsson, Annika Sorenstam 3 times, and now it's Pernilla Lindberg from Sweden. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. That was extraordinary what we saw from her, and not many expected it.
Yeah, it was. There was some great golf. It was really compelling and fun to watch.
It was, and great to be with you as always.
I'm happy to see you. I don't have sequins like some of your partners, but I'm really glad to see you.
That's a challenge. See you next year right here. See you before that, but we're back here next year, we hope. What a week in the desert. Coming up next, going to join the drive chip and putt from yesterday in progress. Check that out as we leave you here and remind you that the LPGA Tour returns to Golf Channel from the island of Oahu in Hawaii. First round coverage of the Lotte Championship on Wednesday, April 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Took an extra day's work, but Pernilla Lindberg defeats Inbee Park in a playoff to be remembered. It finished in the dark with artificial lights around 18 last night. Maybe played one more than anybody would have expected, as dark as it was. Come back out early this morning, 10, 17, 18, and 10 again, and it's Pernilla Lindberg, who is the champ of the first major of the season here in 2018. Heck of a leap, too.